Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back to it. That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Yeah. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there. Sure. Yeah. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here, based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me. Absolutely happened to me. For years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Welch's can't make everything make sense. Like why your mom still listens to the radio or what she meant when she sent that emoji. But a zero sugar drink that's still full of fruit flavor, we made that make sense. And strawberry, passion fruit, Concord grape, and more. You gotta sip it to get it. New Welch's Zero Sugar. Let's fruit stuff up.
This week, in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, a complete bloodbath leads investigators to a trailer with some secrets in the backyard that show a whole different possibility of how a murder went down. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you folks so much for joining us on another crazy, insane edition of Small Town Murder. We have a wild story for you today. It's one where you're like, who's going to be the murderer? Who's going to be the murderee? You never know. It's a crazy episode. Can't wait to get into that. Before we do, very quickly, are you listening to Your Stupid Opinions? Right. If not, you're missing out, and you're in the minority because a lot of people have been listening to Your Stupid Opinions, and it's been going very well. So check it out. It's out right now on all major platforms. If you cannot find it by searching for it, because new podcasts have a hard time being found, search for one of our names. Whisman, Pietragallo. Whisman's probably easier to spell. Search for that.
Best of luck.
And Pietragallo, and try to find it on your podcast app. Yeah. Also, there's different groups that have all the links, but it should pop up. You should be able to get it by now. And also listen to Crime and Sports while you're at it, because it's been nuts. We had murder this week and everything else, so check all that out. You also certainly want to head to shutupandgivememurder.com slash virtual live is where you want to go. That is where you get tickets for the virtual live show October the 26th, and that will be available for a week after that. It's our Halloween spectacular.
Yes.
So all over that Halloween week, you can watch it as many times as you want, save it for Halloween, do anything you want. It's going to be so much fun. They're just like a regular live show, all the pictures, everything like that, except rather than being in a theater and parking and waiting online, you're in your own house or your car or wherever you want to be in your pajamas.
Very comfortable.
Just your own booze. It's fun stuff.
Mad
so check that out.
Shit.
Absolutely. While you're at shutupandgivememurder.com, make sure to get your tickets for Dallas December 2nd for a regular live show. It's the only one that has tickets left this year. Thank you for everything for buying tickets. We appreciate it, everybody. Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all of your bonus material.
Right.
So much stuff. And it's only $5 a month. Anybody $5 a month or above, you're going to get it all, baby. The whole back catalog of bonus stuff. It's like 200 episodes to binge on. New ones every other week. New episodes, one crime and sports, one small town murder. This week, what you're going to get, fun stuff this week. For crime and sports, we're going to talk about Pros versus Joes, which was the television show that just said, hey, you know that guy that works next to you on the assembly line? What if he tried to tackle Ricky Williams as he ran at him? Or some other pro athlete who just retired and is 10 times more physically superior than this man. And let's put it on television. And that's what this is.
What if he raced somebody that got paid to do that?
What if a hockey player shot pucks at him? You think he could stop him? Probably not. He's never been on skates before, but there he is. For Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about the case of Sarah Boone, the alleged, because she has not gone to trial yet, suitcase killer, the woman who zipped her boyfriend up in a suitcase. That is not alleged. She said she did that. The interrogation is the craziest thing I've ever seen. It's the most incompetent interrogation ever committed to
Both
tape.
Parties.
Can't wait to tell you all about it. That is
both parties are phenomenal.
It's amazing. Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all of that.
Yeah.
So, that said, disclaimer time. Oh, and you get a shout-out at the end of the show,
You bet.
too, of course. Jimmie will mispronounce your name, even though he wants to get it correct. But also, disclaimer time, it's a comedy show, everybody.
It is.
We're comedians. This is a comedy, but all the facts are real. That's the thing. There's nothing embellished for comedic effect, which is crazy, because when you hear the stories, you'll go, that can't be true. It is. That's the crazy part. That's why we're talking about it. So, that's how that works. We go out of our way not to make fun of the victim or the victim's family.
Why is that, James?
Because we're assholes,
Yeah.
but we're not scumbags. That's how that goes. So if that sounds good to you, crazy story, lots of wild stuff. If you think true crime and comedy and all that should never, ever go together, maybe we're not for you.
Right.
Who knows? But give it a shot and no complaining later because we told you. That said, I think it's time to sit back, everybody. Clear the lungs. What do you say here? Let's all put our arms to the sky and let's all shout. Shut up and give me murder.
Okay.
Let's do this, Jimmie. What do you say? Let's go on a trip, everybody.
Let's do it.
Going on down to Tennessee this week.
Hey.
Oh, yeah. Going to go to Tennessee, Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Know where that is?
No.
No, exactly. Few do.
Tennessee.
Tennessee. It is in southwestern Tennessee. And it's about an hour and 45 to Nashville. It's south of Nashville. And about 3 hours over to Memphis, if you wanted to go over there. About 2 hours and 45 minutes to Monterey, Tennessee, which was our last Tennessee episode.
Yeah.
Good Fences, Dead Neighbors, which I'm still proud of that title. I thought that was a good title. This is in Lawrence County, so Lawrenceburg of Lawrence County. Makes sense. Area code 931, and they have two mottos. And they're both pretty lame, and we've heard them on countless other cities. So,
is it a great place to live, James?
It's one marketing company goes around to every one of these towns and sells them the same bullshit package, and they buy it. It's crazy. It's the first one, for a weekend or a lifetime. How many times have we heard that? For a vacation or a lifetime, for this or a lifetime. Oh, my God, for a hand job or a lifetime. It always comes up. And the next one is where tradition meets progress. Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean?
If you're old, you won't be freaked out, but you also won't be dragged behind a truck, I think is what they're trying to say. I think that's
It's dumb as fuck.
I don't know. Yeah, that's just, we want everyone to like it here. That's what they're saying.
We'd like both. Yeah. That's what it is.
Totally. History of this town. I guess they've recently started saying that Lawrenceburg, this area, is likely the site where Spanish explorer Hernando de Soto, who found the Mississippi River as if nobody ever stumbled across that before, they wintered here in 1540 and 1541. Yeah, and I guess...
I'm sure you could hear that motherfucker from 2 states away.
What's that? Rushing loudly. How did no one ever
mighty,
find this?
For Christ's sake.
There's people like washing their clothes in it and shit. And we did find it like 1,000 years ago. The Chickasaw Nation sold the area to the U.S. government in 1816. So this, I guess, Davy Crockett was here. David Crockett, the original
that makes
here,
sense.
was moved here from East Tennessee around 1817, served as Justice of the Peace, Colonel of the Militia, and a state representative.
Really?
Yep. He also established a powder mill on Shoal Creek, originally called the Sycamore River, and it now is David Crockett State Park. So
how about that?
All of that and all those raccoon hats, that's big money in the Crockett name.
And then died at the Alamo? Is that true?
Did he die at the Alamo? Was he actually there?
I think he was there and died at the Alamo.
I mean, that would really be a better end of that story. How great of an end to the story would that be? I hope so. At this point, I hope that's what happened.
I want to Google it, but I don't know that I want to Google it because I don't want to be wrong.
I think you're right, though. I think you're right, actually.
That's
on
possible.
This one. I think you're actually 100% correct.
Okay. All right.
After World War II, the Murray, Ohio Manufacturing Company, who produced bicycles and outdoor equipment, moved here and built a big factory and assembly plant and all that kind of thing. So it's also they call it the birthplace of Southern gospel music.
Oh, boy.
And that's what they always say. The downtown area has a statue of Davy Crockett, which is a replica of Crockett's office, and also has... So now I know he was in the Alamo. You were right. One of the only 2 Mexican-American war monuments in the U.S., which would make sense if he died at the Alamo.
Is that right?
Absolutely. So that makes a lot of sense now. Good call, Jimmy. Davy Crockett died at the Alamo. Yep.
I only remember it because I figured in my head, I was that hat would look real stupid in wartime, and he probably
would. Yeah. Tail
make you stand out.
Tail falling over your face. That doesn't look right. So reviews of this town, there's a lot of negative reviews here. More 1 stars than 5 stars on the site. So that says something for the place. It's usually more 5 stars or more, better, middling and better. Here's 5 stars. Lawrenceburg is a beautiful place to live and grow. It is it is amazing to grow up here as a child and continued to a good future here. Tennessee is beautiful. 5 stars. Okay. Yeah. Next up, 3 stars. All right, 3 stars. Lawrenceburg has very encouraging schools and teacher.
One of them.
One teacher, apparently. A teacher goes to these schools.
All these schools. It's a busy motherfucker.
And the next line, I think, cements it. Population has little to no education. Well, there's one teacher. What do you expect? This person is not a miracle worker here.
Yeah.
Go around teaching everybody.
Doing his best.
Then this person says, I will bring... You're running for mayor here? I will bring more training, education, and entertainment to the area. Personally, this guy's going to do it.
They are running for something.
Something. The families need more family-friendly activity.
Okay.
All right. Here's 3 stars again. Lawrenceburg is an average town in Tennessee. We have Walmart and hospital.
They are terrific writers.
Yeah, I love it. The one teacher really needs to work harder. Lawrenceburg is the used car capital of the world. Well, if that's not a draw.
No, it's not. But okay.
Wow. If you want to buy used, this is the place to come. There we go. And then 1 star here.
Yeah.
I hated growing up in Lawrenceburg.
Oh.
Sure, I had friends and some family that I wouldn't trade for the world, but this town offers no opportunities for anything better. There is almost nothing to do, the place is rampant with bigotry, and there's no intellectual or adventurous outlets. I'd like to see the people change and the town grow, but I can't get out of here fast enough. Yeah, you want to go out of a small town in the south, southern Tennessee is what you're looking for.
You're almost northern Alabama, friend.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you there. You're very close to the border.
Not good. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, that's kind of... I don't know what you're looking for. So population 11,460 here.
Okay.
Which is more than I expected, honestly. Way
It's
more
a lot of bigots.
It's a lot. Yeah. If this person's right, that's a whole lot. We're not saying everyone there is a bigot. I was just saying,
I'm just going from your reviews, guys.
That's it. Yeah. We've never been there. We don't know. Female population is way higher than the male population. It's almost 53% female. So that is
really
extremely out of whack. I don't understand that
fantastic.
at all. Good times if you're a guy, I guess, but it's less married people than normal, higher divorce rate than normal.
Oh.
Way more people that are single with children than normal as well here.
Okay.
Race in this town, 87.1% white, 6.1% black, 1.4% Asian, 4.1% Hispanic. So there you go. 62.5% of the people here are religious, though, very religious. Wow. And 31.6% of the population here is Baptist. As we know, Baptists are the Catholics of the South.
The South. Yeah.
They're everywhere. 0.0% Jewish. I didn't think I really had to tell you that, probably. In this county,
state of Tennessee.
Yeah, not known for its, you have like Dollywood and stuff like that. Again, these aren't like, I don't know. It's just this is known, as we've talked about, The Sopranos called it. This is Elvis country. It's known as. And as Paulie Walnuts explains, anywhere with no Jews or Italians. That's what it is. So. Not an insult, it's just the fact.
No.
So Lawrence County here, in this county, last election, 17.1% of the people voted Democratic, 81.9% Republican, 1% Independent.
Yeah.
So they're pretty on one side here. Unemployment rate here, 5%, so a little over the national average. The national average is less than 4 right now, so that's a little bit high, but not too high. That's still in a good range. Median household income, not a great range here, though. Household income, $33,463 a year, which is like half the national average.
Yeah.
34% make less than $20,000.
Oh, my.
Yeah, it's tough. There seems like tough times around here. Cost of living, 100 is regular average.
Yeah.
Here it is 76. Housing is the low thing. Median home cost, $186,600. So if we've convinced you, damn it.
Oh, boy.
You're going here. We have for you the Lawrenceburg, Tennessee Real Estate Report. Your average 2-bedroom rental here goes for $780 a month, which is well below the national average.
Well under.
I found there's a ton of land. Very few houses available. Lots of land available, though.
Really?
Here's 20 acres of basically field with some woods behind it. There's a creek on the backside of the property. $139,000 for that.
Really?
So, yeah, that's kind of the average per acre cost, it seems like here. I found a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,024 square feet on 0.3 acres.
3-bath? What?
3-bed, 1-bath. 1,024 square feet.
How do you fit it in there?
3 small bedrooms. It is a run-down, filthy disaster. And it looks like it has not been I'm not talking remodeled. Looks like it hasn't been had a rag taken to it to just wipe it in about 40 fucking years on the inside.
Not even a once-over.
Not even a once-over. Nobody took a Swiffer to this fucking thing. Nothing. $87,300 for this thing. Yellow walls on the inside, too. Like dirty yellow walls.
Those used to be white.
No, bright yellow. Like banana yellow, but filthy.
Those used to be white.
Yeah. No. I don't even know what you'd have to do in there. You need like uranium to leak or something to turn it that color, but that's possible. I'm not saying it didn't happen. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,400 square feet. It is a nice, clean HGTV, white cabinet, redone recently. Nice, clean, single-family home. $209,000.
Wow.
That's kind of your average deal. Here's a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath, 3,115 square feet, so a little room to stretch out.
Big,
a little over 2.5 acres. It's a nice, quiet, kind of 2-story house with some columns in the front. Very well done inside. Nice wood floors, real nice. Going to cost you, though, $469,900 for that thing.
What a deal.
Which, it's a little overpriced for where it is.
You think? Maybe, but...
Yeah.
You may want to.
In Phoenix, that's okay.
I'd be willing to lose $80,000 for 2 acres and 3,000 square feet of house.
Yeah, that's not good for what it is there because that was way higher than any of the others. I think somebody put too much into somebody put too much into the renovation, and now they're fucked, and they need a lot of yeah.
And they're like, oh boy, do we overbuild?
Oh no, things to do here.
Yeah.
Okay, they have a few different things here. Christmas in the country, number one.
Sure.
Which is Christmas in the country. Christmas cookout in the country. No, this is and they have it the Sunday before Thanksgiving for some reason, which is not Christmas. I don't understand that at all. That's Thanksgiving in the country. Makes no sense.
That's early Thanksgiving.
The Crossroads of Dixie Antique Tractor Show.
Oh.
There's hundreds of antique tractors, farm equipment, and music and food. There's that. Yeah. We have the James D. Vaughn Festival. That features 2 nights of gospel music quartets.
Yeah.
Wow, that's like Clockwork Orange shit for me. If you want to torture me, put me in, hold my eyes open and make me watch and listen to 2 straight nights of fucking gospel quartets. I'll lose my mind.
Did you watch that whole movie? Because I can't do it.
Which one?
Clockwork Orange. I can't do it.
Yeah. Christ.
Have you gotten through?
A long time ago.
I can't
when I was
do
a teenager, I think I watched it.
I don't know what's happening. I can't do it.
Really? I love it. It's Kubrick. It's weird. I like the shots. I like it. It's good shit. Really? Oh man.
I've tried 6 times.
Wow. So you just don't like it then? Yeah.
I don't like it.
If you try more than twice and still don't like something, you don't like it. That's a conclusion I've come to.
It's just real awkward. I don't like the rape. It's all weird, and I'm just out.
Super weird. Yeah,
it's dark. It's dark
supposed
and weird.
to be some shocking shit. That's the point.
It sure
of it.
is.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Think about what it was like in 1972 or 3 or whatever when it came out.
Yeah.
People probably shit their pants back then.
I would have.
Gilligan's Island just went off the air for Christ's sake, and they're showing that. Like, wow, this is different.
An island where people were trapped for years and never fucked once.
Yeah.
And we're going to watch this shit? Oh, boy.
Yeah, I don't think so. No hooking up going on. Next up, the Middle Tennessee District Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's
District Fair.
Middle Tennessee District Fair, which doesn't sound fun. No. It sounds like it was set up by a bank, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's the Middle Tennessee District Fair. Yeah, it's not good. It said the week-long fair is the largest annual event in the county, featuring food, shopping, livestock, crafts, food exhibits, and a midway with rides and games. I'm sure those are very safe and not run by meth addicts. Right. And nightly events such as the Fairest of the Fair beauty pageants and demolition derbies, which all go together. I want
everything for dudes. Come look at hot chicks and fucking big trucks.
That's it. Well, the pageants they have Little and Junior and Miss one day, and then Tiny Tot and Tiny Miss another day. So it's all children's pageants.
I have not heard a thing about adult women.
No
yet.
adult. No, those are from tiny kids to bigger kids.
From tiny kids to not quite seniors.
That's the way it works. And then headlining the whole thing here. Yeah. Well, headlining the whole thing will be the truck and tractor pull, but you can purchase tickets for the headliner on Friday night, and it says the Lawrenceburg Rotary Club is pleased to announce that Cameron Marlowe will be there to perform.
Biggest
I have no idea.
Fucking Tennessee fair, and
they're very excited.
Who the fuck is Cameron Marlowe?
With Cameron with a K though, so you're happy about that. It is with a K. Yeah. He wants to give a nod and a wink over here. So, crime rate in this town. What we're interested in. Obviously here. Property crime is high.
Really?
Way higher than you might imagine. It is more than double the national average.
It's almost like it when people don't have enough money, they fend for themselves.
They don't have enough money, and there's one teacher servicing the entire county. That's a problem, possibly.
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh, by the way, I got to go back to the Middle Tennessee Fair for 1 second.
Yeah.
In addition to the Cameron Marlowe concert and the truck and tractor pull and the children of all ages beauty contests.
What else?
There's also, and this isn't a demolition derby, by the way, because that's a separate event. Yeah. There is a tough truck challenge.
What is that?
I don't know. Is it like those commercials where trucks run over bumps, like bump, 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 like, and there's like little bits of water in them?
Yeah, they road tested this. We don't have to do this.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Is this just some car company using this as a way to test their vehicles.
Is it mud bogging, maybe?
I don't know. I have no idea. Also, the jump and run, and it says cars and wagons. So are they jumping cars and wagons now?
I don't know.
And then my favorite thing of all, of course, donkey basketball will be there as well.
Yes.
This is a hell of a week, I got to tell you. This is a hell of a Sunday to Saturday event here.
Yeah. I want to know what the fuck donkey basketball is.
I have no idea, but there's shit everywhere.
What it is. Nah, it's them playing like horse, but with an extra letter. That's all it is.
Oh,
make
is
the
it?
Game long. It's got to be, right? You spell
thought
donkey instead of horse. I need a goalpost
donkeys.
strapped to a donkey.
Yeah.
And you got to chase that donkey to dunk.
I pictured the donkey, and there's shit everywhere, and you're slipping in donkey shit and trying to throw a basketball. It's covered in donkey shit. I figure
that I want.
That sounds. I would certainly watch that. That sounds.
And the
what
goal
you could
is
put that
constantly moving.
You could put that on TV, and I'll watch it because this is crazy. But holy shit, I had to go back to that a little bit. And now violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, and, of course, assault. The Mount Rushmore of crime. Again, almost double the national average.
God.
This place is terrifying. It's got 11,000 people. There's no one around. What is happening here? What's wrong with you people?
That's fucking frightening.
It's very frightening. So let's talk about a murder. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. And this is a recent one, too. This is not from 40 years ago up in the mountains. This is some recent shit. So this is almost current day happenings here.
Shit.
Let's talk about a guy, first of all, here. Let's talk about a guy. What an interesting fellow this one is. Okay. His name is Sam. It's his first name.
Yeah.
Sam John Passarella.
Oh.
Passarella.
They got a night tie.
They got a night tie, and he's from Brooklyn, actually. That's why.
Okay. Yeah.
He's from Brooklyn. So my paisan over here is from Brooklyn. Passarella. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, we have the same amount of letters in our last name. Look at that.
Terrific.
Look at us. Oh, no, wait, he's got 10. You cocksucker, I have 11.
Lucky son of a bitch.
Lucky bastard. Yeah, he can fit that in way more places than I can fit mine.
He can tell you where to put yours, and you know he would.
That's right. Hey, I'll tell you where to put that extra O, buddy. I got a place for you.
Why don't you just be Pietragallo, huh?
Come on. What's wrong with you? You need 2 L's at the end of your name? Come on. You need that I in there between the P and the E? You don't need that, do you? He's born in 1945. Sam. His name, and this is what everyone calls him, except for later on, other people will call him Uncle Tony, which has nothing to do with anything.
What?
Don't worry about it. We'll get there. Everyone calls him Fat Sam. That's his name.
Yes,
I love
that.
He calls himself Fat Sam.
Yeah.
He's 5'7", 315 pounds.
That's Fat Sam.
That's Fat Sam. I mean, and he got
for sure.
An Italian guy from New York. Every one of his friends, they're not like sensitive, like, don't be nice. Don't call Sam. Right. Don't tell him he's heavy set. He's going to feel bad about himself. They're like, oh, Fat Sammy. And he's like, Fat Sam's over here.
Bitch. Come on in here.
He pats his belly and he's like, line up some cavatelli for me over here. I'm fucking starving. Fat Sam's in the house. And girls like him because he doesn't care. Yeah. He calls himself Fat Sam. That's the kind of guy he is.
There was a mob boss named Fat Tony, right?
Oh, tons of those. Yeah, a bunch of Fat Tonys.
There's been fat everything.
A lot of the mob names, though, are everyone calls him that, but not to his face.
Oh, God.
That's a lot of the mob names. You know what I mean? They're like,
say it to
it's
him.
what everyone calls him. You don't want to call him
Uncle Tony.
Tony Lazy Eye Consigliere over here. You don't call him that to his face, but to his back, behind his back, he's fucking, he's wander off or something, they call him.
Wrong way or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. So they don't call him that, but the FBI knows that's his name. And then when he gets busted, he goes, hey, everybody calls me Lazy Eye fucking wander off? That's fucked up. That's worse than me being indicted for all these terrible charges.
They
for
call
murders
me
and
wrong way?
That's messed up. It's because of my eye, isn't it? It's because of my eye, isn't it? Well,
you sons of bitches. I'm squealing.
My mother told me you could barely see it.
How do you call me wrong way, expect me to get busted and not say shit about all this?
Damn it. That's why mobsters flip, because they find out all the nicknames their friends call him. You're like, he called me what? Okay, I'll tell you what he's been doing. Yeah, he's been running that right out of his auto shop. He has several bodies buried out on Staten Island in the bird preserve.
Fucking wrong way? How dare you?
Son of a bitch. So he's born in Brooklyn, like I said, 1945. He is shipped away to Tennessee here.
Huh.
Okay. He is, as you take a Brooklyn kid in his early teens who's born in 1945. So basically take like a Grease character. Right. That's who he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you go, you're going to Tennessee. Which is weird. So he's sent to live with an uncle in Lawrenceburg because he gets in trouble a lot in Brooklyn.
Really?
So they're like, we're going to send you where there's no trouble to get into.
Yeah,
Have
there's
fun
nobody there.
Running around in a field. Yeah, enjoy. So he was known back then as Fat Sam, by the way.
Okay.
Even then. When he gets down there, he immediately gets some local recognition because he forms a band.
Oh.
He forms a band and he does like civic events and sock hops because it's the 50s and all that kind of shit. All the teen events around. Kind of like in the beginning of La Bamba, what Richie Valens was doing before he got famous. Like, playing like a birthday party.
Yeah. Or the end of Back to the Future.
The end of Back to the Future. Yeah. It's either the beginning or the end, one of the two. So he's got a lot of charisma and shit like that. You know what I mean? And he's loud. He's a Brooklyn guy. He's different than the people around there. And that helps to,
Very different. Incredibly different.
So, yeah. And that's what he does. His cousin, Marty Passarella. Hey, my cousin Fat Sam, let me tell you about him. He said, Sam John had a charismatic sense to him. Sam John.
Sam John. KMG? What is this?
Old Sam John. He had the personality that just attracted people. But Sam John had a knack of always seeming to be in trouble.
Is he trying to give him a hillbilly name?
I don't know. That's what I mean. He's in Tennessee. He was Fat Sam, and they moved to Tennessee, so we call him Sam John, Billy Sam John, Billy Sam John Joe.
We
That's
called
another
him
one we
Sammy
call him
in Brooklyn. Now we sent him to Tennessee.
Sam John.
Sam John.
The only thing I could think is because he's in his family, that's his cousin. There's probably another Sam who's older, and they call him Big Sam, and this one's Sam this, and he's Sam John because he's like the third Sam. Growing up in an Italian family where there's like 4 names. We only have 4 names, our whole ethnicity. So there's 4 names for women, 4 names for men, and then you got to make distinctions any other way you can. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely, these people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked, God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. But why don't you focus also, you look at like green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well. Right. And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
So in high school, Fat Sam becomes the lead singer in a band that played a bunch of high school dances all around.
Oh.
So yeah, he's a lead singer, and I've seen pictures from back then too. He's a big round guy.
No shit.
In the middle, yeah, which he's got there's a certain something to that. If you got a big fat guy who's got some charisma and some energy and all that, you can go somewhere. There's a lot of bands that did that way.
Blues Traveler.
That's what I mean. Blues Traveler. It's Chris Farley's whole career. Not a singer, but that's what it is. So he does that. After high school, he moves to Nashville.
Okay. Oh, really?
To pursue his musical dreams. He's that close to Nashville. If you're into music, I guess, shit, go there. It's better than Lawrenceburg or whatever. So
depending on what kind of music you want to play, man.
Well, let's see what his band's all about.
Yeah.
He moves there. He's looking for work as a backup musician, and then he forms his own band called Libido.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Italian La Bamba, is that what that is?
Yeah, that's how horny you are. So it's got sexual overtones. La libido, la libido. So he never makes it anywhere famous here.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Libido?
Not once. I mean, I have, but it's in male enhancement commercials.
Yeah, it's every 5 seconds of a football game. I give up. I can't do it anymore with NFL games because of the commercials. I'm done. Every commercial is for fucking gambling or for your dick or for something. I'm tired of hearing about how you're going to get rock hard and then bet on the Broncos with the over. Like, I can't do it. I can't have it anymore. I'm so fucking sick of it. I'm tired of famous comedians telling me to gamble. I'm sick of that. And I don't mind gambling. I gamble all you want. I don't give a fuck.
I understand getting paid too. But
it.
this is, come on, man. This is enough.
When I look at it, I say, you know who I don't think has enough money? Kevin Hart. He's probably really struggling.
That poor
right now.
son of a bitch. I don't know how his kids are going to make.
I don't know. I'm sure they're starving, so he's got to do these commercials. It's like, come on, man. I saw Jamie Foxx on one. I'm like, you have a fucking Oscar. What are you doing? You have Academy Awards, bro.
Right.
What the fuck are you doing?
Kevin Hart got
Denzel
pulled
doing
from
this
the
shit,
Oscars to host, and now all of a sudden he's like, man, I got to get every dime I
It's
can.
the weirdest shit.
You have every dime.
You have all the dimes.
Stop.
Remember when Blazing Saddles and they said someone's going to have to go back and get a shitload of dimes? Right. They would get them from you because you have all of them. That's what it happens.
You have all the dimes and none of the dignity now. Stop.
Shit,
Knock it off.
Fuck, man. You're too talented for that. Stop. So he doesn't get famous, and he keeps going back between Lawrenceburg. Now I want to call it that. Lawrenceburg.
Whatever it is.
Nashville. It's Nashville and Lawrenceburg.
Right,
so that's why. By 1980, though, now he's like 35. He's been bouncing back and forth, kind of doing menial shit, doing a lot of illegal shit, actually. Oh. And by 1980, Fat Sam John is kind of hanging out with the wrong crowd here.
Yeah.
This is a quote from a Tennessee Bureau of Investigation special agent later on.
Tennessee FBI.
Yeah. They said, quote, he began the business of counterfeiting and buying and selling stolen property, selling drugs, and he portrayed himself as being connected to the mob or mafia in New York City.
Oh,
Look
I'm
at me.
sure it was so easy.
I'm Fat Sam Passarelli. You know who I'm with? That's all you'd have to say. Oh, shit,
That's
I know him. Oh, man, he's probably...
I believe it.
I seen them movies now. I saw The Godfather and Part 2, and I believe him. So
he's bootlegging and selling drugs.
Bootlegging, selling drugs, stolen price, fencing. He's basically a fence. He'll buy counterfeit shit if he could find it. So also he'll probably counterfeiting, like at that point in the early 80s, probably designer clothes. That's the thing you would counterfeit. And
moving pirated shit.
If you know anyone in New York City, it's very easy to get that shit too because it's really everywhere. So you sell it in Tennessee.
A whole street for it.
Yeah. And things will go for more expensive down there. As Biggie said, Knicks went for 20s down south. That's how it was. So figured out Knicks went for 20s down south. That's what happened. So he has some 1982 is a big year for him here. There's a couple guys he hangs out with, James Howard Turner and Earl Carroll. And with these couple guys, he purchased some fake silver from a Nashville businessman named Monty Hudson. Okay.
So he bought trash.
He bought trash. He got scammed by this Monty Hudson. So I'll quote from the court document to tell you what happened next here. This is not the murder, by the way, that we're going to talk about today. Quote, when they learned that the silver was not genuine, they abducted Mr. Hudson and his wife at gunpoint from the parking lot of a Nashville motel.
And the wife.
So right away we can tell Fat Sam John is not a great guy here.
He's dangerous.
He's a dangerous man. Mr. Turner forced Mrs. Hudson into his car and Messrs. What is Messrs? Okay. And Misters Passarella and Carol took Mr. Hudson away in another car. So
separate vehicles, even scarier.
Yeah, so I mean, where are you taking my wife now, too? Like,
right.
Yeah. So they take him the next day. They take them there. Mr. Turner released Mrs. Hudson the next day. Okay. Mr. Turner and Mr. Passarella, those are the two criminals here, Fat Sam John and his buddy, were indicted on 2 counts of kidnapping, and their trials were severed because they killed Mr. Hudson. That's the thing here. Now, Carol accepted a sentence of 2 years for kidnapping in exchange for testimony against Fat Sam John, who was, he is convicted, Fat Sam John is, and receives a sentence of 70 years in prison.
Jeez.
You, sir, may certainly fuck off, because prior to the trial, they found the corpse finally, and the facts indicated that he was killed by Fat Sam John when they found him. They had they arrested everyone and tried them for kidnapping, and right before the trials, they found the body.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, let's tack murder onto that. Why don't we?
This. Yeah.
Now, one of the investigators said they could never actually pin the murder on Sam John. They did have enough evidence to convict him of the kidnapping of both Monty and Liz, and so Sam was sentenced to 20 years and then I believe 50 years to run consecutively. Yeah. So, from the court documents of James Howard Turner, because he went to trial and everything, they said that apparently Hudson sold bogus silver to at least one of these people, and also I guess they had borrowed like $6,000 for this too to buy this bogus silver, so they were like in debt and now they had shit. I guess Sam John Passarella and Carol were accused of abducting Hudson and murdering him. And Hudson's body was discovered before the trial. After Passarella's trial. That's the problem. They banged him for 70 years before they even found the body.
Holy.
But before Turner's trial, and that was on result of information provided by Carol, because he was with Sam John when this happened. And, Turner was charged with the murder, and Passarella was not, though. And he was not subsequently charged either, but he does decades in prison.
Really?
Yeah, because they gave him the harshest sentence they could because they knew that this person was dead.
They knew he did it,
Yeah, they knew he killed him, but they just wasn't able to do that. He serves 29 years and 7 months in prison.
Wow, in his 30s.
Does 30 years, yeah. And finally is paroled in 2013.
Get out of here.
Yep, 30 years does, and gets paroled in 2013.
Holy shit.
This is where our story takes place here after this. So,
man was in prison for 30 years.
Yes. This is who we're dealing with.
Bad thing.
A murderer who was in prison for 30 years before we even get to the murder.
And now, welcome.
And now, here he is.
What does he look like today?
Oh, I'll show you. I got a picture.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll show you. This is why you got to go to live shows so you can see pictures of this stuff. And I'll post it on the social media, obviously, but... Holy shit. So 29 years and 7 months. Obviously, you want to go right back to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, and settle on in.
Probably exactly the same.
It's got to. I'm sure nothing's changed. I'm sure your favorite little ice cream stand's there. He's like, they still doing sock hops? No? Okay. Nothing's changed at all. He moves to Lawrenceburg where he has family and immediately just delves right into the local music scene.
Okay.
He's like Tupac. He writes in prison. That's what he does. He's been writing. You give him a bid, man. He'll just write his way out of it. He doesn't give a fuck, man. That's how it works.
As a bar owner, if a man comes in and says, "I'd like to play a gig here," you have any references? Sure do. Cell block C.
Everyone in my cell block said I was the best.
Okay. So you play Thursday. I'm not telling that man no.
That's like in Vacation when the actress who plays Jenna Maroney, when they say, I French kiss, and she says, everybody French kisses, and she says, yeah, but Daddy says I'm the best at it. That's the equivalent of that.
Yeah, I guess you're the best, and
I guess you're the best.
Book you
I guess you're
French
coming in.
kiss the whole bar.
Yeah, well, come on in then, I suppose. Hard to argue with that, really, so can't be disproven, so I don't know. So he's here, he has a band.
Wow.
They played the Oktoberfest in Loretto in 2014.
Really?
Yeah.
Like Texas Laredo?
No. Loretto. Loretto.
Oh.
Not Laredo.
Okay.
Loretto.
It's the male Loretta Lynn.
Yeah, it's Loretto. It's Loretta's Italian lover.
Yeah.
Loretto. Sing to me from the window, Loretto, with your... So his band name is, and this I had to do a double take because I'm like, I think this is already a fucking band, and it certainly is. His band's name is Survivor.
Yeah.
Which is the Eye of the Tiger people.
Right.
If you don't know. And
they have a big hit, one of them anyway.
This isn't like, two members of Survivor that he joined. This is just five guys from Tennessee who call themselves Survivor.
You got to remember, James, he's been in prison for 30 years. He missed this.
Yeah.
He doesn't know. He
doesn't
know
went
about
in.
the Karate Kid, right?
It's Rocky 3. He went in.
Oh, Rocky, yeah.
He went in when Eye of the Tiger was the biggest hit in the fucking world. 1983, Eye of the Tiger was like the number one song in the nation that year.
What's the
That's
song
the year he
from
went to prison.
Karate Kid? Is that Survivor also?
No,
it might be.
I think it's which one? Because there's a few.
The one.
Well, you got the Cruel Summer one. It's just like Bananarama or something.
That's, everybody does that one now.
You're the best.
But the other one. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Isn't that Survivor?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No, maybe not.
You're the best. I don't know. And then
That's
part 2 had
head.
like Peter Cetera songs, I think, in part 2 of Karate Kid, right? Thank you for joining us on James and Jimmy's 80s Movie Corner.
Where we do it from memory. Is that the one where he went to China or whatever?
He went to Okinawa.
Yeah,
he went to Okinawa and imitated a little drum thing.
Drum, yeah.
To beat a man who's much bigger and more talented than him. Which obviously is very realistic.
For the love of a woman.
For the love of a woman.
Of an Okinawan.
Who ripped off her traditional dress and had like a Def Leppard t-shirt on underneath it when she declared her love for Ralph Macchio, I'm sure. I don't remember. Oh, yeah. The whole crowd. Beat the local guy, fucking strange Guinea from New Jersey, please.
Yeah, who is built like Bruce Lee, and you're not
without the sinewiness. Yeah. Bruce Lee was like ripped of Ralph Macchio's just like, I don't know, I'm just a teenage kid. The other
bad guy looks exactly, they were like, get us a Bruce Lee.
He's fighting Piston Honda, basically. So he's fighting from Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Like this ripped Asian guy who's going to kick the shit out of him. He's much bigger.
Little Ralph Macchio, sure, all right.
Little Ralph is down there in his tank top, very upset and scared.
Little Ralph who was rejected from his city and made to live in fucking somewhere else. L.A.?
Very sad.
Was it L.A.?
I
think it was L.A.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, something like that.
Mom made him move from Philadelphia to L.A. or something like that.
Yeah.
Dumb storyline.
Oh, man. So Survivor, obviously, like we said, certainly a band, and he certainly knew it existed.
He's got to know by now, right?
Well, he knew when he went in. Like I said, it was the biggest hit in the world, and he was into music, so he was aware of Eye of the Tiger from the biggest movie of the year, the biggest hit song of the year. Yeah. He knew it existed. Hulk Hogan came out to it, for Christ's sake. That was his fucking... Everyone knew it.
But let's say he missed it because he loved music so much, he immerses himself in just his own, James. He's focused. But when he gets out, you've got the fucking internet.
He fucking knew. That's the thing. He had it in his head for 40 years.
All right.
40 years of Eye of the Tiger. He's just singing it as he's mopping
That's
floors.
what got him through 30 years in the joint. That's what got him
through. It's like, we're calling ourselves Survivor, okay? Those guys ain't around. They ain't around no more. Don't worry about it.
They're all dead.
They're all dead. I took care of it. Now, let's enter an FBI agent here.
All right.
This is retired FBI agent Richard Knudsen. So Dickie Nudes over here.
Really?
Dickie Nudes, he says that he investigated a matter in the late 70s, early 80s. This is the murder. It's 1983 it happened, but he investigated this. And he said that this investigation led him to conclude that the victim, in this case, had been murdered in connection with this whole thing.
Yeah.
And he said that in this case, Fat Sam John's, the aggravated kidnapping case, he described this whole deal, and he said that he learned through a prison informant while he was in prison, while Fat Sam John was in prison. This FBI agent learned that Fat Sam had put out an open contract seeking to kill someone to kill either Agent Knudsen or one of the witnesses in the case.
Really?
Yeah. The agent said he had 3 small daughters at the time. So he said, obviously, this had an effect on me.
Sure.
He said that he believed that Fat Sam had the money and contacts to carry out the threat, too. He said he's got a lot of dirtbags that would do this. He even considered moving his family to a different town to hide out, basically, get an unlisted number and go underground.
Oh, my.
He said that he confronted Fat Sam during one of Sam's court appearances, telling him that, listen, I've just been doing my fucking job. This is bullshit. And, quote, pull that contract back.
He begged him.
He said, you got to do that. This is bullshit. You know I'm doing my fucking job, blah, blah, blah. You got to pull that contract back. That's you don't see like mobsters taking out FBI agents a lot of the times because that's the game.
Crazy. Yeah.
Well, that's the game is I do this, you try to stop me. If you beat me, you beat me. That's the fucking game. So he caught you. That's the sorry, fourth down. I don't know what to tell you.
But you also don't make FBI agents disappear because
they look for them.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't look for the truck driver that drove around these cigarettes. That's a big deal.
That's the shit. He said when he told him, pull the contract back, he said Fat Sam didn't reply to him. He, quote, just got red like he was either embarrassed or mad.
Probably both.
A little of both.
Yeah.
So you got, oh, shit, Jesus, this is court, and they got an FBI agent saying I'm trying to kill him. Are they going to arrest me? Yeah. So according to this FBI agent, the Fat Sam's reputation in the community was as a, quote, extremely dangerous and violent man. And in his own personal opinion, he thought Sam was dangerous, threatening, and menacing. So extremely dangerous, violent, threatening, and menacing is how he's being described.
What a guy.
What a guy. So what does any dangerous, threatening, violent, menacing, maniac murderer do at this point? What would any of them do?
Write your ballad album.
You move into senior housing, obviously.
Oh, is that what he did?
You move into a 60-plus community is what you do. 65-plus community is where he moved.
Incredible.
Senior housing. Because, no one will notice any crazy goings-on in a senior housing community. They notice if one of your grandkids came to visit. They're like, he's out there dribbling a basketball, Sam. Call the cops. They're fucking, Henry, call the police.
They don't do much dribbling. The only dribbling they do is after they pee.
Yeah. If there's any dribbling in here, I know it's not peeing. I know it's unauthorized. So he moves into the Crockett Senior Housing Complex. Everything's named after Davy Crockett here, by the way.
Good Lord.
Yep. While he's living here, he played with his band Survivor at local functions and benefits. He moves into this subsidized apartment complex. It's for people over 65. He makes some friends in there. He's a very friendly guy. He makes friends easily, which is interesting.
He might be able just to learn Eye of the Tiger and then pretend to be them.
Who cares? Yeah.
Nobody would give a shit.
A couple weeks ago, the Oak Ridge Boys were at a thing, and we were like, are they still alive? There's like one person who was briefly with the other guy. It's all just a new bunch of guys. Who cares anymore? Just call yourself the Oak Ridge Boys, sing Elvira, and we're all happy. That's it. So
grow a beard and sing Bobby Sue.
Here is Survivor. I'll turn the monitor. Check that out.
Holy.
There's obviously.
Let's look at that. Let's see Fat Sam.
Right here,
God,
obviously.
Look at this guy.
You don't really have to have him pointed out of the one who is Fat Sam. That guy's a little heavy too, but he's Fat Sam, obviously.
Yeah, he sure is.
He's got like a fedora and like some gloves on, like some fingerless gloves.
Bigger than my legs. Like,
oh yeah, yeah.
Those are huge.
His gloves and hat are from Rocky 1. Basically, that's the Rocky 1 collection. He needs to be bouncing a rubber ball, and he's got it. So,
or the Andrew Dice Clay starter kit.
The Andrew Dice Clay starter kit. I don't see any cigarettes in his sleeve or anything like that. So, judging by the Survivor and the Eye of the Tiger, which was in Rocky 3, I'm just saying he's got and the fact that he's Italian.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen Eddie Murphy Raw, Italians have a weird Rocky obsession. We do.
He's got it.
He's got it, I think, maybe. And it's weird. So, mid-April 2015, just like April 12th-ish, around there, he plays a gig with his band. It's from social media we found on in Loretto at Nana's Pizzeria.
Over at Nana's.
Over at Nana's, yeah. That's sounds like an open mic, but okay.
Yeah, I'm
got
sure
a gig at the Nana's.
Sure, it's a big deal.
Ever do like an open mic at a pizza place while business was going on?
Yeah.
Back in the day? I'm
is
sure
that
you have.
awful?
I think we've done it together.
Is that awful?
It's
Probably.
the worst.
Yeah.
It's bright lights. There's people just walking in like, I ordered the 2 large pepperoni and I got that. And you're like telling a fucking joke. It's miserable.
There is one that still happens that's outdoors. The ordering is outdoors. So you are in the middle of a joke and somebody's shouting, "No, can I get a Dr. Pepper?"
Oh, hell no. No.
In the bottle. Yeah, in the bottle. The Mexican one.
If you, I'm sure this isn't anybody listening, but if anyone listening is even considering taking a microphone outdoors in Phoenix, stop right now, take that microphone, bash yourself in the forehead with it until it breaks, then hang yourself with the fucking cord, okay? Because you're an asshole.
Or take that broken end and jam it firmly right up your asshole.
Directly up your asshole. And then hang yourself with the cord. Because if you're going to make comics stand outside when it's 114 and be like, I don't know why no audience shows up. I do, because it's hot.
It's miserable.
Stupid. So people knew of his criminal history. They knew he'd been in prison. I mean, he just popped up at it after 30 years, so it's not like he's been, hey, where's that guy been for a long time? But they believed that now that's all in his past, any kind of criminal behavior. He did his prison time. Now he's an old man. He's in his late 60s. He's in a retirement community. He's playing with his band. He's just trying to live his golden years and, do all that kind of thing. They said he became a beloved fixture of the community by now.
Is that right?
Crazy. He has a bunch of new friends, too. I mean, he's got his bandmates. He's got people in the senior center. He's got a chick named Crystal.
Hey.
Yeah, Crystal Gregor. Gregoire. And Gregor, something. She's born in 1980, hence the name Crystal. Is the perfect time to be named Crystal. And she's born in Louisiana.
Yep.
She's from Louisiana.
Probably is a French last name, then.
Yep, I think it is a French last name. She's known to have a pretty shitty childhood, everybody says.
As a lot of people from Louisiana do, yeah.
Rough and shitty, and her sister Misty McMasters, that's her sister's name.
Crystal and Misty?
The two most.
Fuck out.
1980 and 1982, Crystal and Misty. And they have a sister named Jennifer, I'm sure, also, to round out the... There's a lot of
Brandy in there.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's just the 80s names. These are the girls we went to school with.
We know this
because there was 4 girls in all of our elementary school classes named Crystal, and those are just the ones not named Misty. So
Misty
or Jennifer.
Forget that name.
Misty. Yeah, I haven't heard that one in a while.
That's a fun one.
That is fun. So after high school, she gets out of high school and immediately joins the police force.
Is that right?
Yes, joins the police force very briefly.
Oh.
Like, she does her training, she's on the job, and then she's done very quickly.
Okay.
She drifts. Well, yeah, and it could go either way here. I think she quit, probably because she was pregnant.
Oh.
Because she drifts from job to job, and by the time she's 20, she's out of the police force and has 3 children.
Man.
Yeah, she's an ex-cop with 3 kids at 20, which sounds like a 40-year-old guy.
Right.
Sounds like McNulty, you know what I mean? Like,
he didn't even have to carry him, though.
Yeah. Yeah, she had to actually spit him out.
She had to put the work in. Jesus Christ.
No shit. So, just a mess. She's married, from what we understand, several times just in this time period when she's young. People around her said she had a string of failed marriages, just... One guy would go, 3? She'd find somebody else, 3, 4, who knows? But
wow,
this is all through her 20s here. So she's got these kids trying to make ends meet, trying to do all of this. After a bunch of failed marriages, Crystal decides that she's had enough of Louisiana. It's not doing anything for her. So she moves to Tennessee to be near her sister here. So she hangs out there to be by her sister, and she meets a man, and they end up getting engaged here in the 2010s. She meets a man named Jonathan Howell. So Jonathan Howell has a friend of his named Fat Sam John Passarella.
Yeah.
And that is how Crystal meets Fat Sam. Okay. Now, Crystal's 35, Fat Sam's 69, too, at this point
weird.
In time.
Yeah.
So, but they're hanging out.
We're friends.
They're friends. Well, I'll tell you why. And when I tell you why, you'll go, oh, yeah, that's what makes everyone friends. That's it. They became friends quickly, I guess. Really, Crystal and Fat Sam became very close friends. She calls him Uncle Tony because he's an Italian guy from Brooklyn, so she just calls him Uncle Tony.
It's fucking hilarious how racist that is, and we all just go with it.
You're allowed to say to make fun of Italians in any way.
As much as you want.
We have to just take it and go, well, that's fine. It's fucking hilarious.
It's incredible. It really is incredible.
It's pretty fun, isn't it? Isn't it great?
Fucking amazing.
It's fucking hilarious. I see it all the time.
You just gotta take it.
See like memes and shit, and I'm like, anybody else? Even the Dutch would be upset about this. What the fuck? I'm not even talking about a black person. No, fucking anybody would be. But you guys like, look at you. You're a bunch of fools. Dance for me. You spaghetti-eating moron. Talk like Mario. What the fuck what is happening?
Garlic bread sucking son of a bitch.
Holy shit. Hey, it's Uncle Tony. All right. Like, you can't do that with anybody else. That's what I mean. Fat Sam is enough. It's already Fat Sam. That's not enough for you?
Yeah, that's Italian enough. Just call him Sammy. Enough. Jesus.
I have a friend named Sam. I haven't talked to him in years, but his name is Sam. He weighed 550 pounds. Guess what everyone called him? Fat Sammy. It's we'd all call Fat Sam. And he'd go, hey, oh, and he'd give you a hug, a big fucking hug, and lift you off your feet.
I mean, the bull's name was Sammy. It's Italian enough. You can just call him Sammy.
Nope. Uncle Tony. So
it's amazing.
That's fucking amazing. So Crystal says she met him through her boyfriend at the time, who was Jonathan Howell. Mm-hmm. Howell, the reason why they all hung out is Howell's a huge prescription pain pill addict.
Oh.
And Fat Sam is a distributor of prescription pain pills. So he's selling drugs out of the senior center and probably slinging at Nana's Pizzeria on the side after a Survivor gig. I don't know.
Wow. Might be pinching them off other people's shit at the home, in the neighborhood?
No, we have a hookup here. We'll talk about how this all happened.
Okay.
But Jonathan Howell starts selling pills for Fat Sam so
Uncle
he
Tony.
can for Uncle Tony so he can finance his habit.
Okay.
So basically the spread, he just takes it.
Working for free. Yeah.
I'll give you 10, you sell 8, and then he takes 2 rather than keeping the money for 2. So that's how it goes. So Crystal initially was helping Howell sell pills. They were in it together. But over time, she realized this Howell's a real fuck-up. Which, I mean, he's like a hardcore pill addict. So, yeah, they tend to be less than reliable.
Tends to mitigate progress and any sort of productivity in life is kind of a baseline. That's very minimal.
And people who are very addicted to prescription pills aren't known as the most reliable people in the world either for like meeting people on time and that sort of shit. Things you need to do to be a drug dealer.
Yeah, all their go-get-em is wasted on fucking go-get-em pills.
And then put them in my body.
Right. And then now I have even less motivation.
Yeah, fuck, now I'm all set now. So what do I need to go out for? So she said, fuck this, and cut Howell out and started selling them on her own.
Okay.
Said, you're not responsible enough for this, and went to Fat Sam and say, I'm selling them now. So she sells pills for Fat Sam for about 2 years. So from mid-2013, like pretty much right when he gets out of prison. I mean, he starts immediately, which, I mean, he has no money. I'm sure he's trying to get something going on here.
That is the cycle.
That's what it is. So, and he's 69 too. It's not like he can,
Yeah. Very few skills that he can get into.
Yeah, he's not like, well,
arthritis is a hindrance for welding.
Yeah, I'll just go get a job on the assembly line. It's like, yeah, and he's got health problems too. We'll talk about. He walks with a walker. He's not the most desirable hire for, manual labor or anything at this point.
And then that old murder conviction. That's
going to be the capper on top there. They call you Uncle Tony, I see. Great. Excellent. We're not going to hire you. Hey, everybody. Just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. The most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover. Yeah. Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing. No. They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro-laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently. Wherever your problem areas are, tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's sonobello.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right. Let's go elevate your styles, people. Yeah. Get it going. Look good out there. And you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable. And you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, while still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmie's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah, they're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad.
Right.
There's chemicals in things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, which is
it's great.
Amazing. Yeah. That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up for energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff, and I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options.
Nice.
It's very cool, and you can personalize this portion, and you can put filters on it. And get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
So she sold pills for a couple years. She said during that time, at the time, she was telling people that she and Fat Sam became very close and she grew to love him deeply, although she tells everyone they were, quote, not intimate.
Okay.
Not intimate here. Now, a little bit about the pill business. Okay. I guess the way this worked is he enlisted the aid, we're talking Fat Sam here, of a nurse practitioner and a pharmacist to obtain prescriptions and pills.
Sure.
So she gets a nurse to steal shit from the doctor. They forge them, take them to this pharmacist who looks the other way and fills them. So that's the way it works here. And then he gets all the pills. So I guess he also had another minor pill supplier whose name was Daisy. And I guess he would supply some pills, but his main business, Daisy was a man, by the way, was to supply him with weed, large amounts of weed, too, because he sold weed.
Shop? Yeah.
Daisy's the weed distributor, apparently, allegedly, and sells weed to Fat Sam and some pills when he's short from other sources.
Got it.
So this is like his auxiliary guy.
Is that a Daisy? Is that a clever way of saying, got to go get some flour? Is that him,
maybe. That's possible.
That's it. That's very impressive if that's true.
That would be,
I like that
his
a lot.
code. Or he just really likes Tombstone.
I am a Daisy. I will do.
And he's like, I ain't no Daisy. He just thought that was fun.
Yeah.
So Daisy does this, and because of Crystal selling pills and all this type of shit too, she would have tons of pills with her all the time too. So everybody's got all these pills. There's weed, everything like that. She would, I guess, help him ensure that he got the right amount of pills before, when he would buy a whole batch, she would help him count it out. And then she would take possession of the pills before his parole officer made the monthly visit to the place, and then she'd bring them back. So when the parole officer comes in, it's all clean, and then she comes back with a duffel bag full of pills and weed and whatever the fuck else. And
also, doing all these favors, you owe me a lot, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's selling stuff for him and all that. Now, she said she had obviously heard that he just got out of prison, and he's not shy about being in prison. Because, when you meet someone and you've been in prison for 30 years, it's not like 3 years where you could just ignore those 3 years and talk about the 3 years before that like they just happened. It's 30 years.
Right.
What are you supposed to say? Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, we went to see Trading Places in the theater last week. And then you're not going to say that because you have no reference of anything for 30 years. You have to say where you were.
But COVID bottled us all up for like a year. And holy fuck, man, I felt like I missed out on everything. I knew fucking nothing.
And nothing happened at all.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Didn't miss anything. That's funny. So she hears, she heard a story that he maybe have murdered somebody. Maybe. So she had asked, what's up with that? And I guess she had told others that he proudly related how he had set up a man who was selling fake silver by purchasing $30,000 of the fake silver from him, which is not true. It was $6,000.
And it wasn't even his money.
It wasn't even his. After the purchase, he said that he called his, quote, gangster friends that he knows and announced that they were going to have to whack this guy.
Okay.
So he's acting like he called the Gambino family up and, they all came over and, hacked the guy up and put him in the trunk of a car.
Yeah.
So he said then he and his accomplices kidnapped the man and his pregnant wife at gunpoint to show what a nice guy he is.
Yeah.
Stowed the wife in a storage shed for a day.
Really?
Shot the husband in the head and buried the Cadillac in which the murder occurred in one location and then the husband in another location. And that I believe, actually, because I know of a lot of places you could bury a car where I'm from because there's just people that do that and they don't ask questions and you can just bury a car. It's mainly for insurance purposes, not usually. But I'm sure if you need to get rid of a car because it's full of fucking blood,
with a body in it. Yeah.
They don't care either. So, So there you go. They do that. She said that he told her that they let the wife go without harming her because she was pregnant. Otherwise, they were going to kill her or something. But they were hey, look, what am I going to do? She's pregnant. I'm not a monster over here.
Yeah, but also if we get caught and the courts will go fucking ape shit on all of us.
They really hate it when you kill pregnant women. That's a bad. That's
you look like a real piece of shit.
It's a pretty defenseless person and with another defenseless person.
Right.
And, depending on it, it doesn't even matter. You don't kill pregnant ladies.
No.
That's, Come on.
That's bottom rung bullshit. That's
I feel like that's been like a thing for a long time. Like we can't kill the pregnant woman. I mean, that's wrong.
Obviously not.
Look at her.
What are we, monsters?
She shuffled over here. She had a hard time getting out of the chair. We're going to kill this lady? That's crazy. So just seems wrong to just murder people anyway. But she said that he told her that he was convicted of 2 counts of aggravated kidnapping and he was released after 29 years and 7 months. So he was factual on that stuff, but, just exaggerated the amount of money.
Embellished a little.
Yeah. So now by 2015, Fat Sam is selling pills, selling weed. Crystal's working for him. He's got a lot going on. He's experiencing a bunch of health problems now, though.
Okay.
Because by the time you're in your late 60s, being over 300 pounds becomes a hindrance.
Yeah, being Fat Sam for 40 years is not easy.
It's hard on a lot of things, especially joints and organs. So after a little bit in the hospital, he returns to his home to recover with the help of Crystal and Crystal's children, too. She has teenage kids now, so they're helping out also.
Okay. All right.
Helping, doing whatever. So there's a physical therapist and the director of the rehabilitation at National Healthcare Corporation Lawrenceburg named Regina Hall. So physical therapist. She said that he had come in, that Fat Sam came in and was admitted to their facility on April 14th, 2015. So it was right after his gig at Nana's Pizzeria. It was probably a blowout.
Got paid in pizza.
Yeah, or he was just partying hard after that. It was like Woodstock. It goes on for 3 days.
That's a lot of Peronis.
It's a lot. So that day he came in. This was following his hospitalization for pneumonia and an atrial fibrillation. Yep. And was discharged on April 26th. So he's in there for 12 days.
For a cardiac event.
Wasn't released because he was better.
No.
Was released when his insurance coverage limit for inpatient rehabilitation treatment ran out.
And he's like, fuck it, I'll continue at home?
He can't stay, can't afford it. So they kick him out. That's all there is to it.
Oh, my God.
At the time of his release, he could, with difficulty, stand unassisted from a seated or lying position.
Okay.
So with difficulty, he could get up, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
Kick him out. He could walk approximately 200 feet with the aid of his rolling walker, so leaning on something that's not walking, on your own, and walk down the hall, not 200 feet, just down the hall, with a straight cane using the hallway handrail for additional support.
Stop it.
A walker is what that is.
The man can't do it.
Yeah. If you need both hands to lean on something, it's a walker. Whether it's in front of you, one rail, one cane, 2 little people, you put your heads on each of them, it's a walker. It's all a walker.
We're going to put this man and send him home?
Send him home. He's fine.
Okay.
They said his balance, though, was very poor and his movements were labored, so she recommended that they continue therapy on an outpatient basis. So come on back here and limp your ass in here every week or so. And we'll do this.
Hope your house isn't more than 200 feet away.
Yeah, good luck. Waving at him and shit. Park close. Regina Hall testified later on that he returned to the health center on April 29th for an insurance-required assessment and reevaluation.
Yeah.
To make sure that, they didn't have to pay anymore. After receiving insurance approval for outpatient therapy, he was scheduled for his first appointment on May 14th, but he called to cancel because he wasn't feeling well.
I can't come into the hospital because I'm sick.
I'm too sick. That's what happens. It's true.
Okay, yeah.
And then he failed to show up, and this is all so he can feel better. That's the problem.
Right.
Yeah. So he also failed to show for his next appointment on May 18th, but came in that afternoon after they called to check on him. He was like, okay, I'll come in.
Yeah.
So he wanted to participate in therapy that day, but he said he was feeling unwell and was unable to do so, but he would try, is basically what he said. Yeah. So he came in. His blood pressure was 168/82 at the time.
That's high.
It's high. And, he said that he had been to the cardiologist the previous week and learned that his irregular heartbeat was causing his blood pressure to rise.
Oh, no.
So now, when he's at the health center, this Regina Hall said that he weighed over 300 pounds.
Yeah.
And she said that she scored him as independent on his occupational therapy tests and he had driven himself to the therapy appointment.
Wow.
She said that she knew he had a reputation for violence, by the way. She had heard about him before. She said that she, quote, knew he had gone to prison because of murder.
Oh.
Yeah, and she said she remembered it because the incident happened when she was a little girl, and at that time, and so she remembered.
The whole fucking town knew.
Everybody knew from back then. She did call him charismatic and kind and said he attended church.
Okay.
So while he's at this physical therapy session here, May 18th, 2015, Ashley Waller, who's a physical therapy assistant here at the NHC in Lawrenceburg, she said that Fat Sam came to the facility for outpatient therapy at 3 p.m. on May 18th after missing his 1 o'clock appointment. As he entered, he walked slowly while using a straight cane and holding on to the hallway railing.
Yeah.
Upon his arrival in the gymnasium, he told her that he was feeling unwell and didn't think he would be able to do therapy, but wanted to try. They took his blood pressure, like we said, and it was elevated. That's where we're going to get to that point. So she determined that it would be in his best interest that it would not be in his best interest to attempt therapy because of his heart.
Right. He's going to have a fucking heart attack doing a stair stepper.
Yeah, she said that it didn't appear he would be able to do anything strenuous. And she said because he was unsteady on his feet, she accompanied him back to the vehicle, held his arm so in lieu of a handrail.
Yeah, now you go on and get out of here and have your heart attack elsewhere.
Yeah, go on, get out of here. Yeah, go do it in the road. Go plow into a school bus. Enjoy.
You get behind the wheel of this car and have yourself a fucking cardiac event.
You have yourself a nice heart attack there, sweetie. There, Uncle Tony.
Yeah.
So May 19th, 2015. So this is the next night.
Yeah.
Okay. The next day, Crystal's 16-year-old son at the time, Josh, he went to check on Fat Sam.
Uncle Fat Sam.
Yeah, because Fat Sam had promised to attend Crystal's daughter's 8th grade graduation ceremony that day and didn't show up.
Oh.
So I guess Crystal told her son, go check on Fat Sam, make sure he's okay, make sure he's not fall down somewhere and he can't get up, some shit like that. So he walks in the house. He said when he got in there, the front door was unlocked.
Yeah.
Which is odd for a guy who sells drugs and has a bunch of cash in the house. Usually,
I don't want people just wandering in.
If you've ever known any drug dealers, they usually have like a real thing for locks. They love it. There's a bolt, a thing, and a chain.
It's like they collect them. Yeah.
Yeah, they really want to make sure it's secure back there.
A lock is a drug dealer's Pokemon.
Yeah. It's the truth. Well, they have just untraceable securities in there, basically. It's just cash and drugs, just things that are worth money that you could never get back, that you can't
and a lot of
say were
guns,
stolen.
Yeah,
guns, same shit. So he goes in and he said that he walked in the door, went inside, and I'll let Josh say from here, he said, I just came to my Uncle Tony's house and I opened the door. This is on 911, by the way, the 911 call. And I opened the door, and he's laying on the bed. He's dead. There's blood everywhere. He's screaming. There's blood everywhere.
What?
Saying he's dead. Okay. So they said it was Josh Brown. He made the call at 8:50 p.m. upon the discovery of the body. The chief of the Lawrenceville Police Department is one of the first 2 officers to respond to the 911 call, which is a terrible sign for a department's police department.
911. This is the chief.
This is the chief. That's
all
a
right,
bad.
I'll be on over. You shouldn't do that.
You're dealing with a hopper situation at that point. And as we know from the first season of Stranger Things, that police force was not operating on all cylinders. Not a great police force.
No.
So they couldn't figure much out. So, they said that this guy, the chief, said when he shows up, he found a semi-hysterical Josh weeping outside and Fat Sam in a worse condition inside.
Yeah.
So they took some crime scene photographs that Fat Sam is lying on his bed, on his back in a pool of blood.
Okay.
His walker is beside the bed, and a candle is burning on his nightstand.
Huh.
Okay, so he wants it nice and romantic to be murdered here. So the Josh said that he had known him, obviously. He calls him Uncle Tony. He knows him very well. But he wasn't even able to recognize him due to the damage that had been done to his face and head.
Oh.
Unrecognizable carnage in here. This is a horrible. This isn't a gunshot wound to the head. This is
I was just going to say, how high was his fucking blood pressure? Did it grenade out of his chest?
Boom. It just popped his fucking head.
Yeah,
no, this is.
Poor bastard.
Multiple weapons, multiple injuries. This is horrible. We'll get all into this, but it is gross. So he said that there were no windows in the adjoining bathroom and only one entrance and exit door from the apartment, just as he notes all this stuff.
Yeah. Detectives
arrive, and they discover Passarella here lying on his bed, feet on the ground. So lying with your feet on the ground, you know what I mean?
That's weird.
If you flop and you're like, what a day. One of those.
Or you're so drunk you
that's how you sleep.
So keep the spins at bay.
And the bed hits the back of your knees and you fall over. Yeah. One of those. So they said large pool of blood under his head. An investigator comes in here, and they say that there's a bathroom on the right side of the room, a nightstand on the side of the bed nearest the bathroom, and a chest of drawers on the opposite side of the bed, and a mirror dresser at the foot of the bed with a path between the dresser and the bed. So it gives you a layout. Layout of the room. Yeah, absolutely. He's got a bunch of shit here. He's really built up some furniture in his 2 years out of prison. Wonder if he kept his shit in a storage unit or something for 30 years.
I hope so. He's got more than I've got. That's a impressive collection.
It's a lot of furniture. I don't have all that either. So he's dressed in pajama bottoms and white socks. That's what he's wearing. Lying on his back across the bed, feet at the floor, toward the bathroom, his head toward the chest of drawers. There's a white shirt lying on his shoulder next to his face there. So like a white shirt there. A bread knife, which appears to be, and a bread knife is a big, long, serrated fucker. They're nasty.
It's a good way to put it. Serrated fucker. They are fuckers. I hate those knives so much.
I've cut myself probably 5 times with a knife in the last 15 years. Every single fucking time was with a bread knife. They're terrifying, dangerous knives. Awful.
It's the only knife in my kitchen that I look at it with fucking disdain.
Yeah, you son of a bitch. Look at you. You want to serrate my fingers off, you cocksucker.
I know what you want. You bet. You cannot have a taste of me. No.
Bread knife is thirsty for blood.
It's a bloodthirsty motherfucker.
It is. It's horrible. He's got this horrible, bloodthirsty, murderous son of a bitch. It's in his hand, though.
Fucker.
Serrated fucker. It's in his hand. This isn't
it's a sword for defense.
He hasn't been stabbed or anything with this knife.
He got the right one.
He's got the bread. If I wanted to defend myself, I would grab that bread knife in a second. Oh yeah, motherfucker! This thing will cut you to the bone. Trust me.
This motherfucker's bloodthirsty.
Blood. The one swipe, your head is off, popping right off your head. Bloodthirsty.
Fuck, I hate that knife, but I use it. I have to use it so much.
You gotta use it. Like, it's the only thing that cuts bread.
You better not, you son of a bitch.
It's the only thing that's long and serrated to cut bread. It's a mess. Oh, man. So it's in his right hand, the knife, and his hand is on top of his stomach. So it's like, lean your hand on your stomach with a big bread knife there.
Yeah.
They look around they find his cell phone. Okay. That's good news. Bad news is they can't look into it at all because they found it submerged in the toilet bowl.
Oh, God damn it.
So someone put it in the toilet bowl, and they found a large knife, like a butcher knife, missing from his kitchen knife block.
Oh, shit.
2 knives missing. One's in his hand. One's nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Okay. They find a bottle of bleach left out on the countertop. We'll talk about that as well in more detail. Left out. It's the only thing sitting on the countertop.
Yeah.
Which they go, did someone try to clean up in here? Like, what's going on? This is making everybody suspicious even more. The police captain said the victim was known for carrying large amounts of cash and prescription medication, and there was no prescription medication or money located at the crime scene. So they were like, we're interested in that. Could have been a robbery. That's his way of saying might have been a robbery.
Yeah.
You know, these drug people. Yeah, who knows? So that's his way of saying that. So the injuries to him, let's find out what happened to Fat Sam here, because this is, man. Medical examiner determines that he'd been struck over 20 times in the head.
Holy shit.
With what appeared to be a claw hammer.
Oh, dear God.
That is fucking brutal.
When it appears to be a claw hammer, you know what end.
That means there's so much damage. Yeah, because otherwise it just be a hammer.
It's just a hammer.
Unless you get some waffle print, might be a finishing. You never know. Yeah. But otherwise, you're...
Oh, Jesus.
That's brutal. Think about that.
It really is.
Everybody, 20.
Oh, shit, man.
1 is horrible to think about. 20 is... Wow,
his skull
horrific.
is crushed.
Well, yeah, multiple fractures to his skull, and part of his right ear was torn off as well.
Yeah, those things,
claw
it'll get you, yeah.
2 deep lacerations in his neck had punctured his jugular vein. His throat was cut twice.
Wow.
As if it's not enough to bash a guy in the head 20 times with a claw hammer here.
The backside of a claw hammer.
Holy shit. So the autopsy, the forensic pathologist who performed it said that he sustained at least 20 separate blunt force injuries to the head and torso, 2 sharp force injuries to his neck, and blunt force bruising on his chest and on his stomach and bruising on his arms.
Somebody's mad.
Fuck, part of the victim's right ear had been cut off or hit off. There were multiple fractures of the face and skull, including multiple broken bones on the skull on the right side on the top of his head, as well as multiple fractures of the bones around the eyes.
My God.
And fractures of deep facial bones as well. So it's not even just on the surface. They said his neck had been cut in 2 places.
Okay.
One of the cuts injuring the victim's thyroid and creating a significant hole in the victim's jugular vein.
Jesus Christ.
Bleeding, bruising, and swelling had occurred in the victim's brain. No shit.
Sure, yeah.
They estimated it would have taken 10 to 15 minutes from the time the trauma began for the amount of swelling to occur in the brain that happened.
15 minutes of beating this man.
Of an intense beating.
Holy shit.
She said the swelling would have stopped at his death after his heart stopped pumping. So that's.
So he had to be alive through that whole fucking thing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they even said that he was still alive at the time that his throat was cut, too.
Jesus Christ.
They said based on the appearance of the wound and the amount of blood, they said it would take in a matter of a few minutes for him to bleed out or bleed to death from the cut in his jugular vein. So skull, this is horrible. Skull crushed
toughest
in.
Man alive.
This is crazy stuff, man.
Wow.
And she also said, this doctor, in her opinion, the blunt force trauma she observed to his body was consistent with having been caused by a weapon similar to a claw hammer. She has autopsy photographs, including one showing a large hinge fracture of his skull that was only visible after she lifted the scalp.
Wow.
This is a fucking bloodbath.
Vicious beating, yeah.
Vicious, horrible, just beating, man. This is rough. So items in the home that they looked through it, they said no narcotics of any kind, no cash in the apartment. They said a kitchen chair was underneath the working ceiling light fixture, so it worked.
Yeah.
In his bathroom, and his cell phone was in the toilet bowl. So the chair, somebody changed a light bulb out.
Yeah.
And it's not him because he's not climbing on a fucking chair.
Sure.
That's not happening. You can't take a walker up a chair. It doesn't work.
You can't walk 200 fucking feet, man.
Yeah, he's not climbing a chair and not falling off. He's got bad balance, too.
Right.
So they said due to the length of the time the phone was submerged, no data was recoverable from it.
Shit.
In the kitchen, they found the butcher block containing a set of white-handled kitchen knives that matched the bread knife that was found in his right hand. In front of the knife was a bottle of Mean Green.
Yeah,
that's
the cleaner, the degreaser.
Yeah, that's nasty degreaser cleaning shit.
It is crazy shit, yeah.
Oh, it stinks, too.
It smells so bad, and they think it smells good. They're convinced it smells nice. That's the worst smelling cleaner on the planet.
It will clean out your sinuses, though.
Sure,
if you have a sinus problem, you'll be like, whoa, hey, I just burned every bit of membrane off my sinus canal and down to my lungs.
I'd rather brush my teeth with Fabuloso than ever smell that shit ever again. It's so
horrible.
bad.
So they said that contains bleach, and they said that everybody there, law enforcement officers who investigate crime scenes and have any training at all, know that bleach destroys DNA. That's a problem. That's why people use it, because it works. Now a friend says about him that he was, quote, about Fat Sam, he was an avid gardener, a popular singer, a great cook, and a notorious crime figure.
Okay.
All right, that's one way to eulogize a guy.
He found words for everything he does.
Everything he does. So let's talk about the blood spatter a bit, because the blood spatter is a big part of this here.
Sure.
The investigator will say that although, by the way, this is investigator Goetz, and he said, although he's not a certified expert on this.
Perfect.
Okay. You can end your sentence right there.
Yeah, it's enough. We've heard plenty from you.
And then go get a certified expert and have him do this, or her do this, because I don't want you looking over blood stuff and going, I have a pretty good idea about this kind of thing. Like, that's
What do you do? Well, my last name's Goats. That's what I do. I like goats.
Yeah. That's like your car breaks down. Guy pulls over, and he goes, let me take a look at it. You go, you know how to fix cars? And he goes, well, my daddy owned a Ford dealership. That doesn't mean you know how to fix cars.
Keep driving, motherfucker.
You just said your dad had cars that you looked at. Get the fuck out of here. It's the equivalent of that.
I'm a dentist.
I'm car adjacent, you know?
No, but I drive one. Fuck you. Get out of here.
I drive every day. Every damn day. Been driving for a long time now. Now, he says, although he's not an expert, he has extensive training in homicide investigations, which, I mean, you would know stuff after.
Sure, yeah.
If you do 50 homicide investigations, you pick some shit up, I would assume, whatever your training is. You learn from other officers, too. The problem is, if you're the guy saying it, you need to be the guy who's the most professional at this. So this involved the use of blood spatter and blood sling evidence, is what he did training in a lot, he said. He explained that blood spatter, as we've explained before, is when blood is cast from a body upon impact. The blood sling is what occurs when blood is cast from an object to strike a victim. So you, pull the hammer back, it sprays up on the ceiling.
Spatter back, sling forward.
Other way.
What?
Sling back, spatter forward. When you hit somebody, the blood that comes out of them is spatter.
Oh, got it. Okay.
When you swing it back to hit them again, that's sling that goes up on the ceiling.
Isn't that cast off?
Or cast off, but they called it this in this course, and in the court documents they call it that. But I've always heard it as cast off too. That's what I always hear. So they said that this thing here at this particular crime scene, they said there was a lack of blood spatter or blood sling in the area around the chest of drawers in the bedroom window where his head was.
Okay.
There should be a shitload of spatter from bashing someone's skull in. Yeah. And 20 fucking times, there should be spatter and sling all over the place. Yeah, it should just be. He should change his band name to Spatter and Sling at this point because it's going to be everywhere. So, but they said that instead, that they said this indicated that the perpetrator must have been behind him when he hit him, based on there. There was no blood spatter on the bread knife. Also,
what?
Which indicated that it must have been placed in his hand after his death, because otherwise it would have
they do that?
His blood spatter. Oh, I don't know. Make it look like he was coming at him, maybe. Who knows?
Okay.
We'll talk about it. So they go to talk to Josh, who found him, to see if, did you move anything just by accident? Did you trip over anything?
Come here, hysterical child.
Yeah, hysterical teenager. Come here for a minute. So they do that. Josh said he'd grown close with Fat Sam, and he was distraught when he spoke to them and everything like that. When Goats there, the investigator, he exits the apartment, Crystal was outside standing beside a police car in which Josh was sitting in.
Yeah.
So they end up a couple days later, they go to do a formal interview. They just do some basics. Did you see anything misplaced? Did you see anybody in the yard? No. Okay, we'll do a formal sit down with you in a couple days. So they head over to Crystal's trailer.
Yeah.
So at the Crystal Chateau here, the agent says that he saw her that night, obviously, because he was saying they saw you the other night when you were there picking up your son. And they said the next day, he and two other law enforcement officers talked to her at her trailer home she shared with her boyfriend, Jonathan Howell. And they said at that time, one of the officers pointed out a trail of shoe prints leading from the trailer out into some deep mud in the backyard.
Yeah.
So they said that it was a lot of reddish clay mud substance all over the deck, Crystal's deck, and footprints leading up the hill into deep mud. Uh-huh. They said, well, why are we walking around in the mud? And she said, I was walking the dog. So that's why. Okay. When I walk my dog, I like to take him in the muddiest part possible.
Yeah, that's the last place I'm taking my dog.
The last place is the mud. You go over here where there's no mud, so I don't have to clean your feet off before we go inside. Right. So, he said that she said, she walked the dog. Now, Josh said he and his mother that night of the killing had dinner with Fat Sam.
Okay.
So, they talked. That's what he said. They talked to Crystal. She said, that's exactly what happened. We had dinner. She answers questions about Sam's habits and told the detective that she had not seen him since she ate with him on the 18th. That was the last time she saw him.
Okay.
She ate with him. Meanwhile, though, she sent the kid over to see where he was.
Yeah.
Because he didn't show up for the graduation.
Yeah.
But she ate dinner with him. Couldn't she have asked him then?
Do that? Yeah.
That's what I mean. That doesn't make any sense. And a lot of this doesn't make any sense, as we'll talk about.
Okay.
Because it'll make sense in the end. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'm not going to just put out a mystery here. So her fiance, Jonathan Howell, the incompetent drug dealer.
Yeah. The most unreliable man on the planet, who she fired, by the way.
Who got fired from dealing pills. She, according to her anyway, allegedly, he confirmed her statements, but the detectives here said they felt like there was just something off about the whole thing. Like there was just a real, I don't know, we saw him, then we didn't see him anymore, and they weren't being forthcoming. They hadn't brought up that they sell pills for him or any of that shit yet, too. So there is a lot that they're not telling him. So based on this information, because she said, you might want to check on, there's an envelope there that has some information that in Fat Sam's apartment you might want to check on.
Hold on. What?
Yeah, that's what she tells the cops. There's some information. He's got a manila envelope that he's been looking over, and I don't know what's in there, but you might want to look in there because it might have something to do with something. So that's what they do. Have you guys
looked in the manila yet?
And they hadn't.
Okay.
They head back to his apartment where they uncover a manila envelope containing Tennessee Bureau of Investigation discovery documents in the case of an individual who'd been arrested on drug charges. And in these documents, this man named Fat Sam as one of the people to whom he supplied drugs.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah. So they go, oh, shit. Okay, that's somebody that Sam might be upset with.
Yeah.
If they're snitching on him.
And how does he have Tennessee FBI shit?
That's the other thing. He's got that stuff, which if you have a connection, you can do that.
Yeah.
According to the investigator, the documents here named Fat Sam as giving marijuana several pounds a week to this person.
Oh.
So basically being a middleman for this. And that he thought that he had determined who the snitch was, and he had approached an individual. And so Crystal was telling them that Sam was possibly killed over these papers. Like maybe it was the guy that he was mad at. Maybe he confronted the guy and the guy killed him.
Yeah.
I mean, Sam's not that sturdy on his feet. Some guy could have snuck behind him.
Very easy.
Yeah, he's easy to take out. So they're like, interesting. So what they do is they follow up on the lead and interview the quote-unquote snitch.
Yeah.
But it doesn't go anywhere.
Oh.
Yes, in the discovery documents, it included a signed statement of a David, quote, Daisy Dover.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the guy. In which he stated he imported marijuana from Mexico and sold 10 or 12 pounds of it per week to Fat Sam.
Fat Sam, yeah.
10 or 12 pounds a week. Fat Sam is moving volume.
A shitload of weed.
And pills. That's a lot. So, Crystal's story here, they talk to her a little more because they keep talking to her because she's kind of over his house all the time and is the closest to him like that.
She's a confidant.
Yeah. So the investigator concluded that Fat Sam had such a close relationship with Crystal and her son that her son Josh always referred to him as Uncle Tony all the time. My Uncle Tony, Uncle Tony. So he acknowledged that Josh had spent the entire weekend with him at his apartment, helping him out. Josh had been there all weekend, and that they had eaten with, they said, okay, it must have been Fat Sam ate with Crystal and Josh the night he was killed, and then we don't know. We don't know anything else. There was no indications in the victim, and which is Fat Sam and Crystal's text messages that they had argued about anything, that they were upset with each other, nothing like that. So Crystal, here's her story. The following day, they returned to her home to talk to her again. And the investigator said, I was under the impression that they weren't really telling us everything that they knew.
Okay.
So, yeah, they contact her again, and she says, you're right. I didn't tell you everything.
You nailed it.
You
Great
nailed
job,
it. You know what,
police.
you guys, wow, you're like clairvoyant, you guys.
Yeah.
Super clairvoyant. And she said that I didn't tell you everything, and I didn't tell you the whole story, but not because I don't want to tell you the whole story. I don't want you to get to the bottom of this. My fiance was there, and I couldn't say shit in front of him. That's what the problem was.
Oh, he was there while we were talking.
While we were talking,
okay,
yeah. We were all in my trailer. So She apparently, according to the prosecutor later, she tells them that she and Sam had a romantic relationship and that they loved one another, which she had told other people too, that she loved him and they loved each other, but they didn't have sex. Okay. So I guess she's talking to them. Her fiance's at work, and she told the investigator that she had a few things to tell them, couldn't say it in front of her boyfriend. She said that they loved each other and had been involved in a romantic relationship, her and Sam.
Okay.
But this relationship only involved kissing and cuddling. They had no sexual intercourse due to his impotence. Fat Sam's.
He can't do it.
Let me get this straight. This is a guy who has access to any prescription drugs he wants.
Yeah.
In volume.
Right.
But he didn't get himself a hard-on pill to fuck a 35-year-old?
Right.
To fuck a woman half his age? Come on now. That guy.
Yeah, that guy will get the shots and shoot it himself.
Dude, he'll have a dresser drawer full of fucking pills that'll make his cock hard.
Absolutely.
If there's an opportunity for it, he can do other things. I don't know if his heart can handle it or not, but
I'm sure he'd love to go out that way.
I mean, you're 69, and we'll go out that way. Who cares?
All right, yeah.
So she said that, not that you should die at 69, but I mean, if your health is awful and your heart's going to explode any second anyway, you go, well, I guess this is the best way I could think of.
69's a good run.
It's not bad. She said that she went to his house whenever she and her fiance had an argument, and that her fiance was very jealous of Fat Sam.
Oh.
Very jealous. But they said, do you think he could hurt Fat Sam? And she said she did not believe that her fiance would harm Sam. And she said that I don't think he had the opportunity to do it either. So, I don't think so. So she said that he, meaning Fat Tony or Fat Sam, Fat Uncle Tony, Fat Uncle Sam Tony.
Doesn't matter.
Fat Uncle Sam Tony was kind to her and her children and sometimes gave her money as well.
Oh.
Just for the fuck of it.
Yeah.
She also said that since his release from prison, he's been dealing drugs and all that. She, lays that out. They already knew that, but now she tells them. They said that the investigator says later, Sam, since he had been out of the penitentiary, had created a small network of friends and new acquaintances and actually had his own small little enterprise going where he was buying prescription drugs and reselling them, which we know. Yeah. So during the same conversation, Crystal also tells the investigators about the discovery documents at the home again. She mentions them again. And she's like, what about that guy? She also mentioned a man named Sean Tierney.
Oh?
Sean Tierney, who she says, I know that's his real name, but everybody calls him, quote, Big New York.
What is this place?
Big New York. And she said he might have killed him also. You want to look into him, probably. So
I guess New York is that fucking storied for being dangerous like that, right?
Like
and
gangsters and shit. I mean, it's the
hear the words New York and kind of be
oh boy,
kind of be Italian or Irish, and people are scared.
a little Irish or a little Italian. You go, oh, you know who I'm with, and they go, hey, oh, all right, never mind.
all right.
Hey, yeah, leave him alone now. So they said they followed up on this lead, and it went nowhere, as they found this Sean Tierney had been in North Carolina with his family at the time of the killings. Killing. So he definitely wasn't the guy. So, wow. Crystal then came to the Lawrenceburg Police Department on May 22nd to provide additional information, little more.
Yeah.
And they're looking at her as a good source because she knows all the people he's involved with. No one else does.
Yeah,
you know? She said, how about there's a guy named Damien who she said she claimed that his phone, I guess this guy Damien used to use Fat Sam's phone to communicate with Sean Tierney.
Okay.
So they said that Mr. Tierney had threatened to kill Fat Sam via a text message on Damien's phone. However, when they pursued that lead, they found no threat on the phone in the records. So
her information sucks.
Her information, which in the drug world, it's a lot of rumors, and this one told that one, and I heard that. I mean, there's no official record here.
Intimidation is what rules that whole game. Yeah. So it makes sense, yeah.
That's the thing. Now, months go by.
Oh, my God.
Like 8 of them.
You can't find who murdered a 300-pound man in 8 months.
No idea. Maybe that's because when the chief shows up first, what are the odds?
So I feel like you guys might be outmatched.
Might be outgunned here. So February 4th, 2016 is the next time Agent Wesson, who's the lead investigator at this point, that's the next time he talks to her.
Wow.
From May 22nd, 2015 to February 4th, 2016. Okay. He had eliminated all other possible any leads. They're all dead ends. Nobody did this that he could find.
This is a cold case.
So he's trying to track down Crystal to talk more to her, and he finds out that she's in jail in Giles County. That's where she is. So he goes to Giles County, and she goes for her courtroom appearance, and he sits down next to her. Hey, Crystal.
Hi,
how's it going?
Yeah.
He said, I got something else to do today, which I don't know why you showed up then. I got something else to do today, but I want to interview you at another time. I'm going to be back at another time to interview you.
Whoa.
Now, which seems like a terrible strategy if you're suspicious of someone. Yeah, because that's going to make them have a story now that they can get straight.
I need you to start thinking. Yeah.
I need you to really have a line of bullshit for me when I see you sometime in a few days.
Start writing.
So that very evening, this is just, he was out of leads and took it upon himself that Crystal knows something. I'm going to talk to her. He goes there on spec, says, I'm going to come back at another time. Yeah. Then that evening, by complete coincidence, allegedly here, he receives a call from a Carl Rawdon. Okay. Now, Carl Rawdon is one letter away from raw dog, by the way, which I think is awesome. Rawdon. Almost Carl Raw Dog, which would be a great name.
It's pretty good.
It's a good name for a porn actor. So,
and he's furious that it's not that.
I know. He calls himself Carl Raw Dog. He just puts he rounds out the bottom of the end and puts a little thing on the bottom of it. He's like, there we go, Raw Dog.
Tells all his friends to call him that.
Call me Raw Dog, please. Now, he is the trailer landlord for Crystal. He owns the trailer. And he said that, by the way, she had been kicked out. She said that, Carl says that she had lived there at the time of the death, but then she paid $300 per month on the trailer for 3 months, made her last payment in April of 2015, and by May of 2015, she was gone after that. No, she was just left the trailer, and later on got arrested for drugs in another county. Okay. So they talked to him, and he said that, Fat Sam was crazy about Crystal, loved her. Really? Super into her, as someone twice her age would probably be into her. Sure, sure. Yeah. How many other 35-year-old women are paying attention to him and kissing him and cuddling with him? Mm-hmm. So apparently he says, now I called you guys, Carl Raw Dog, I called the cops because yesterday I was cleaning some stuff out of the trailer and doing some stuff around the yard, doing a little yard work, and in a chert pit? What the hell is that? C-H-E-R-T? Chert pit?
I guess that's where you burn trash? Is that a burn trash pit?
I have no idea.
Never heard of it.
It's located behind this trailer. And he said, well, I dug this up. I saw something sticking out of the ground buried, and so I dug up this area here to find out what it was. And I found a plastic shopping bag with a bunch of stuff in it you guys might be interested in.
What's in it?
Well, some very interesting things. In this are an Austin P University red bag is in this, okay, which is in Texas, as we know, because we did that Fly Williams Crime and Sports episode. A yellow and black claw hammer.
Oh, shit.
Partially wrapped in a black latex glove.
Really?
A black handle kitchen knife, a white handle kitchen knife, like the one in Sam's block.
Right.
A blackish gray lace throwover, so like a kind of a shawl thing, but a lacy one that women wear. A white I Heart New York t-shirt.
That old trope.
That old one. A white and black leopard print shirt. A striped bath towel, and 4 empty pill bottles. Okay. 3 of the pill bottles were prescriptions in Fat Sam's name.
Uh-oh.
Yep, all of which had been filled on April 27th, 2015. A 120-count bottle of 30-milligram oxycodone. That's a bunch. Yeah. A 45-count bottle of 350-milligram Somas.
Really?
Those were the wrestlers' favorites in the 90s there.
That's a big one, too.
Those are big. And a 90-count bottle of 10-milligram diazepam as well.
Value.
So The fourth bottle did not have legible label on it, but it appeared to have contained a non-prescription medication, they said, just something else.
Those three are just like a car accident prescription
Christ.
right there.
Oh, my God. Yeah, you've broken your neck and your hips.
Relax the muscles, kill the pain, and then chill the fuck out. Yeah.
Fall the fuck asleep. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop because you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores. Fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, concert tickets, and more. Your favorite stores like Lowe's, Levi's, and Nike pay Rakuten to send them shoppers. And Rakuten then passes on a part of that payment to its members as cash back. You're already shopping at your favorite stores. Why not save while you're doing it? It's a no-brainer. Membership is free and easy to sign up. Get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. That's Rakuten. Your cashback really adds up.
Escape reality and immerse yourself in a gripping tale of mystery, murder, and romance with June's Journey. Join June as she unravels the truth behind her sister's mysterious death and use your observation skills to find hidden clues and uncover dark secrets. Plus, you get to explore stunning hidden object scenes, from New York parlors to Parisian sidewalks, as each chapter reveals captivating mysteries. How sharp are your observation skills? Put them to the test in June's Journey. Download for free today on iOS and Android.
So they say the TBI special agent forensic scientist Charlie Casalbono. How many Italians are down here? What's going on?
Where'd this
these
come from?
All the Italian people in all of Tennessee? This is where they all moved? He's an expert in forensic biology. He said that, she said it's a Charlie is the name. I guess not Charlie.
Charlie?
There.
It might be
Charlie. Charlie. She obtained a limited, inconclusive DNA profile from the latex glove that was partially wrapped around the hammer. She said DNA degrades quickly from items that are exposed to the outdoor elements.
Sure.
Absolutely. So another TBI special forensic scientist, Dabney Kirk, is an expert in latent print analysis, and she said that she was unable to lift any identifiable print from any of the evidence submitted.
Really?
So no physical evidence there, but it's all buried in her backyard, which is a terrible sign.
It's not a good place for it to be. Also, if it's a chert pit, if that is a burn pit, you put metal items in a plastic bag and put it in it, and it didn't burn?
No, she buried it. It's buried under the thing. It's in the mud, buried.
Jesus Christ.
So this was buried and then recovered, and they just saw there was a piece of plastic bag sticking out of the ground. They were like, what the hell is that? And it was buried under there.
She thought that just goes away when it's out of sight, out of mind?
I buried it. That's what the dog does. Seems to work for him. So they go, we're going to go just have a little chit-chat with Crystal here while we got her in jail. So they returned to Giles County. Now they got a lot to talk about. They didn't have as much to talk. Before, he was just going to go in and go, so tell me more. And she was going to go, I don't have any more. And he was going to go, I think you do. And she's going to go, no, I don't. Now they have something to talk about. So she heads right back. He heads right back over. She waives her rights and says, sure, I'll talk. Why not? I have nothing to hide. Yeah. And she's going to give about 3 different statements over the next 24 hours here.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. By the way, she was in jail on a parole violation for a drug charge, and on parole for, I think, a drug charge as well.
Probably.
Yeah. So that's wild. So they found all this shit behind her house. Now, in her first statement, she says that she was in Fat Sam's bathroom when Shane Hughes, another person, enters
the fuck
picture.
is that?
Now. That's what I mean. Another person. Everybody's named Shane or Sean that sells drugs in Tennessee, apparently. Shane Hughes came to the apartment to argue with Fat Sam about Sam's cutting him off from his pain pills. He's owed money, and he cut him off. So she said that she heard them fighting and arguing, and then she heard Sam John cry out. When she came out of the bathroom, she said, I just watched him take his last breath. He was taking his last breath.
You just put yourself at the
crime scene. There you go.
I watched the man take his last breath.
That's it. Okay,
what?
Well, now we're going to dig into that like your burn pit.
You're in so much trouble.
That's the thing. Criminals think, murder investigation subjects seem to think if I just admit to something that I know they think I don't want to admit to, then they'll think they cracked me and then I can get away with it. But all they see is like, oh, I just opened I just opened the box of drop, and now I got to bust it open the whole way. That's
I just put you in a room with blood everywhere. I did it right now.
And you not immediately calling 911.
Right.
To say what happened. So she said that, she saw him take his last breath. She said that Shane Hughes buried the evidence in the pit to frame her.
Oh.
That's what Shane did because Shane knew that she was there. So rather than have her be able to tell on him, he'll bury the stuff in her yard.
Yeah.
That way they'll think it's her. And if she tries to say it's him, then it's just her getting out of it.
Well, here's the thing, babe. You just told me that the things that I have are the murder weapons, and you just put them in your hands, not anybody else's. So
in your yard.
You're right.
And after you saw him take his last breath.
So really, all you've done is said, I've murdered a man.
So she tells her whole story, and Agent Wesson leans in and says, I don't believe that at all.
Bullshit.
I don't believe a fucking word you've just said. So
try again.
Next. I don't believe you. So she said, okay, I'll tell you the truth then. You're right. You're right. I was lying. That was bullshit. I'm sorry. You're right. Yeah. You're absolutely right. But she said, this is the truth, though, okay? I was trying to protect somebody, and, now I'll let it out because you guys are too smart for me, obviously.
Listen, air it.
She said, listen, that night, my fiance came with me.
Oh.
Howell here.
Oh.
He was with me to Fat Sam's house, and he got into an argument with Fat Sam and killed him.
Not Sean?
Not Sean. It was my fiance, Howell. Okay. She said, I tried to stop him. I really did. I was trying to stop him, but I couldn't stop him. He was like he was possessed. So she said she cleaned the crime scene. Now she just told everybody she
now it's
cleaned
worse.
The crime scene. Now it's worse. She cleaned the crime scene and went home with Howell, even though he just murdered a man, where they buried the evidence, including her blood-stained I Heart New York t-shirt. Well, she was trying to stop him from bashing him. There was blood everywhere. She couldn't help it. Yeah.
When I cleaned, I got it everywhere.
It happens, man.
Yeah.
So based on this statement, they go, all right, and they go talk to Jonathan Howell. Let's talk to you, see what you have to say. And they were, they confronted. He said, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That is not true. I wasn't over there. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know what you're saying, basically.
Wow.
So, yeah. And they believe him. The detectives believe him. They think he's not lying. So they return again to her and Crystal, and they go, hey, listen.
We know where to find you still.
You're still in jail, so we're just going to keep coming here. And they said, we don't believe that happened here with him, with your fiance. The one cop said, Jonathan loved Crystal. He could not believe she was accusing him of this. He was like, what?
Why would she say that?
What are you talking about? So she even made a big handwritten statement, and the detective showed him the statement. Is any of this true? And
shit.
He was like, that's her fucking handwriting. This is true.
Why would she say that?
Because at first he's like, she didn't say that. And then they're like, recognize those hearts over the eyes, Chief? That's...
You love that long, curly Y?
You know that. You know who that is, don't you, sir?
Yeah.
So Howell here, the fiance, he said that Crystal worked for Fat Tony selling pills, or Fat Sam selling pills. He said this relationship made him uncomfortable. He said the night of the 18th, he stayed home while Crystal and her kids had dinner with Fat Tony, or Fat Sam.
Does he even sell pills?
No, he does. She sells the pills. He doesn't sell pills anymore. He did at first. That's how they got together. That's how they met. Is that he was selling pills for Fat Sam.
I was just wondering if that was just a ruse that she said to get him involved. You know what I mean? But he definitely was involved.
Yeah. He was selling when they met. Yeah. So Crystal, Howell said Crystal brought the kids home, then headed back to Fat Sam's place. Yeah. She didn't come back until the early hours of the morning, and then she admitted to me that she actually killed Fat Sam.
Oh, my.
So now, not only that, he flips on her now and goes, I knew about it. She got home in the early hours and told me what happened.
Yeah, I can't believe she would say something like that. I'm the accomplice, not her.
I'm the after the fact. What are we talking about here?
I'm the one that gets 10 to 15, not her.
What the fuck? So, well, he didn't touch anything. She just told him about it. Yeah. And he was like, whoa, that's crazy. He didn't clean a crime scene, dump any evidence. He just didn't say shit. So they go back and they go, Crystal.
Yeah.
No, We don't believe you at all. So what really happened? Tell us, Crystal. And she said, okay, fine. Fine. You've backed me into a corner. I have no choice. I'll tell you what happened. I did kill him.
Yeah.
But it was all self-defense. That's all it was. It was pure the most pure self-defense of ever. He's a killer. He's a murderer. He kidnapped a guy and killed him. Jesus Christ. So that's what she's saying. She said that she admitted that she had alone killed him, but claimed self-defense. She said, and then she does a statement that we'll talk about here. She says that she didn't even want to sell drugs.
Oh?
Fat Sam coerced her into selling drugs under the threat of violence.
Made her do it.
You sell drugs for me or I'll beat the shit out of you, lady.
Or else. You got 3 kids, I'll hurt them all.
I'll hurt all of them. When she attempted to quit on the night of May 18th, that's what she said. She went over there to say, no more. My conscience is eating me up, sir.
I'm tired of selling 12 pounds a week and making all this money.
I can't do it. She said she tried at that point when she tried to quit. That's when he tried to make good on his threats and attack her and kill her. So she had to beat him with a hammer that she found lying next to his bed conveniently. And then she said, I just stabbed him twice in the neck to make sure he was dead. That's all.
Okay, yeah.
So this is her statement.
Officer, he had that serrated fucker. It was
a serrated. It was fucking, dude, you know how many times I've cut myself on that? Jesus, I cut a bagel one time, almost took my pinky finger off. They're dangerous.
He pulled it out. I smelled all the everything seasoning in the world, and I lost it. I lost my mind.
She said that night they picked up Chinese food, or he did. Fat Sam picked up Chinese food with which he shared this with her and her son at the apartment. So Josh was there. He then told Crystal to take Josh home because that Fat Sam was about to transact a, quote, big drug deal.
Oh, we got a big one to go.
I got a big drug deal tonight, everybody. That's what drug dealers always say.
Got a real whale tonight.
Everybody, big drug deal coming through.
The Yakuza's coming to Tennessee.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. The Yakuza, the Gambino family, everyone's going to be here. So she said in her statement, quote, when I arrived back at Sam's house after I dropped Josh off at home on the 18th of May, Sam asked me to go into the bedroom and help put away some laundry, which is normal things that she does. She helps him out around the house. She said, I went into the bedroom at approximately 10:30 p.m., May 18th. He followed behind me.
Yeah.
Okay. He pushed me onto the floor and started yelling at me and waving a knife at me, calling me a no-good bitch whore.
Okay.
You no-good bitch fucking hooah. And said to stay on the floor like the dog that you are.
Oh, she's a dog,
right.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. And he sat on the bed while I was sitting on the floor crying. Yeah. She said that she got knocked on the floor from behind. That's how she fell down. He shoved her from behind because he's got such good balance and he's very sturdy. She said when she tried to get up, that's when he said to her, bitch, you better stay on the ground like the dog you are. Okay. She asked him, why are you doing this to me?
Yeah, we always do.
Why? And he accused her of trying to send him back to jail.
Oh.
Trying to send me back to jail. He also threatened the lives of herself and her children as well, saying, quote, I got some wise guys coming to get you. Your kids are going to watch me kill you, and then I'm going to kill them and throw your bodies in a hole, and no one will ever find y'all. Which... right away, I know she's lying. Immediately.
You didn't say
liar.
Yeah.
No Passarella has ever said the word y'all. Liar.
Also, she's seen Casino because that's what she thinks is gonna. Yeah. That's what she's painting. That's not. They're not putting your kids in a hole.
A bunch of wise guys. Yeah. Tony Spilotro is going to come back from the dead to do this.
They're going to come from Brooklyn to South Tennessee to do
that's
this
what they do.
And dig 4 holes and put 4 people in it.
Because some fat pill salesman needs them. That's how it goes. Right? That's how the mafia works.
Yeah. We're going to whack a whole family.
Oh, man. She said that he was wearing a white T-shirt and took it off and threw it at her, saying, quote, I'm not going to get blood on that shirt, bitch. You're not worth it.
Okay.
Okay. And that candle that's burning, see it? He said, you know why it's burning?
Oh, he's got
because I'll say a prayer when you're passed and when you're dead and gone. Okay. That's why. That's a prayer candle for you when you're dead. I was going to induct you into the family, but I decided not to.
I lit a candle like the Catholic Church in your honor.
In your honor. That's what it is. Like I go into a mission to pray for the dead. He said that he knew I was double-crossing him by messing with his suppliers, meaning David Daisy Dover, and taking business away from him. Yeah. He also told me that he had 2 wise guys on their way to get me and whack my bitch ass.
He said this?
These are exact quotes in the statement. To, quote, whack my bitch ass. And that Jonathan Howell was next. Okay.
What movie has she seen?
Lots of them, I feel like. This is so dumb. He proceeded to pick up his phone, indicating to me that the wise guys were being summoned. I'm calling him right now. Hello, Big Vito. Can you come down and kill people you've never met and have nothing to do with and have no impact on your living or money? Yeah, I know you don't know me, but I'm from Brooklyn from 50 years ago. Remember me? Okay, so she said, as I was thinking that I was surely going to be killed, I started looking around on the floor where I was sitting, and I saw a hammer laying under the bed. I quickly picked up the hammer and just started swinging it. This is for her life. Wild, because the wise guys are coming. She said that he fell back and gasped and yelped. All I could think was the wise guys were still coming. I want to do the interrogation. I would have been laughing in her face. And why are you laughing? Because this is fucking ridiculous. Tell me more. Is this a screenplay you're trying to put together?
I want to watch this.
Is this are you trying to do like a Breaking Bad spec to get a writing job somewhere else or something? What's happening here right now? I started grabbing the evidence and and tried to collect everything as I rushed out the door, which is what you do when you're in fear for your life. You're like, let me bleach stuff and really do that shit. Wow. The last portion of the statement was handwritten by the agent, but initialed, and every line's initialed and signed by her. So, quote, I threw his phone in the toilet before I left. The knife in his hand was placed there by me.
Oh.
It's self-defense, but I put the knife there to make it look even more self-defense-y. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I gathered things up and put them into bags and took them with me. I took wash rags, towels, hammer, 2 knives, and my clothes. I buried that stuff behind my old house. Sick trailer, by the way.
Yeah.
I threw my shoes behind Hilltop Market, which is a grocery store. So murder shoes are back there, anybody?
Yikes.
They were covered in red clay. I threw them there on the morning of the 19th of May. No one helped me cover this up or helped me in any way. I did this alone. Problem is, I don't want to accuse anybody of anything, but if this is her story, I don't know which one is true, but according to Josh, the son, he was sent over there after that he was over there already eating Chinese food with them. But he said he was there to check on him because he didn't show up earlier in the day at a graduation, which then they ate Chinese food, so they could have dealt with it then.
Timeline doesn't
work. And then
work.
he came back.
Yeah.
The timeline does not work at all for any of this, so I don't know what's going on. And I assume it's her lying the whole time. Whatever lies would make that fucked up, it's probably her and not the kid. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to blame him for anything. Christ, he was 16 years old at the time and dealing with his mother's bullshit. So she said when I hit him with the hammer, he fell and dropped the knife in his hand. I picked up the small knife he had and stabbed him in the neck with it. I thought he was probably dead, but I wanted to make sure. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
By the way, she left out, I bashed his head in 20 times with the fucking hammer.
The fucking claw hammer. She said she swung it wildly.
Hit him.
It was tactically smashing his fucking head.
He fell down, and it was like, phew, got out of that one. Better stab him to make sure. No, she hit him in the head with a claw hammer until she was tired, and then stabbed him. That's what that is. So, wow. She said, I left there and drove straight home. The next morning, I got the stuff out of the truck and buried it. I took some bleach and water on a cloth and washed out the back of the truck. And she said, I told my fiance about it months later, which she had said earlier. She told him, he said she told him that night.
Mm-hmm.
So it also included another handwritten notation in the margin signed by her that said, one of the knives I used to dig a hole with. That's an odd digging implement, a knife. Who digs a fucking hole with a knife?
With one of the knives from her own block?
That was her knife. The black one that was buried was her knife that she used to dig the hole.
Yeah.
To dig the hole, rather than using the murder weapon to do it.
Right.
Just, two birds, you know what I mean? She was like, let me get one of my knives, then threw that out because it had been in contact with other stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And they said, she's a cop, so she knew about DNA and stuff like that because she had trained as a cop. She did those classes and everything. She said, one of the knives I used to dig a hole with, the other came from Sam's. The black one is the one I stabbed the victim with. Okay, the black one. The white one was from his house, though.
Yeah.
The white one in the block. So the agent here says that she told him during her previous statement, in which she blamed it on Mr. Howell, that she sent text messages to Sam's phone on the day after the killing in order to cover her involvement. Like, where are you? How come you're not? What's going on? They said during the course of his investigation, he was able to confirm that she had sent the 2 text messages to the phone after the death. I just figured out the timeline here. The kid came back that's the next day.
The next morning.
It's the next evening. Never mind. Oh my God! He's been lying there for almost 24 hours when the kid comes in. Yeah, they had dinner over there the night before. The kid said, "Oh, where's the graduation?" And then that next day he came over. So that's how that works. Okay.
Yeah.
So a little more info here. They said that this is the thing that makes this unbelievable is that he was unable to walk without assistance, and his blood pressure was so bad he couldn't do physical therapy.
Right.
He's not sturdy on his feet.
Right.
He's not a physical threat to anybody. Like if he's sitting on a bed and she's sitting on the floor, she could just get up and walk down the hallway and walk out the front door. He can't chase her. He literally can't. So, I mean, you could just walk away. There's no problems in doing that. So that's why they said self-defense, probably unlikely here on this one.
Yeah.
They believe a little different motive. They said, this is a prosecutor, said, quote, she was trying to squeeze Sam out of his drug business and take it over.
That's what she wanted.
I think that's what she maybe wanted, possibly. So Crystal's sister, Misty McMasters, again, the most 80s name of all time.
Yeah.
Wow, Jesus. Said that Sam made regular $200 payments to her, to Misty, on her sister Crystal's behalf because she had loaned her sister money, and Sam would pay it back for her.
Oh.
Yeah, was making her payments for her.
Okay.
She said on 2 occasions when she was dining out with Crystal, Fat Sam had sent Crystal threatening text messages demanding that she come to his apartment immediately. Each time, she said Crystal got up and left the restaurant, telling Misty that she was frightened of Fat Sam. Misty also said that she was aware of Fat Sam's reputation for violence, hearing that he had murdered somebody in the past, obviously. She also said that the threatening text messages consisted of his telling Crystal that he would come and hunt her down if she didn't come to him immediately. Which is what you say to people who sell your drugs for you when they're late with your money, too.
Yeah,
that's the other thing. So, I don't know.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know how to. I don't know
love
if that's
the
to take that.
inconsistencies and the lack of the lack of knowledge of really drug sales and how drug salesmen behave.
Exactly,
it's fantastic.
But if they're also in a relationship, like she says, is that more of like a domestic fucking? I'm going to hunt you down if you don't come home, or is it where's my money? Because those are 2 very separate things. So she said that she told the agent Whisman, that Crystal was on drugs at the time of the murder, but would not concede to having said that law enforcement should investigate her as a suspect because they said the sister said that you should look at my sister, and she said I never said that. So she said she did not know if Crystal and Fat Sam were involved in an intimate relationship. Didn't know.
Okay.
Crystal's daughter, who was graduating from the 8th grade at the time of the murder, said that she once heard Fat Sam sitting in his living room curse at Crystal, who was in the kitchen, and threatened to kill her with his pen. I don't know. It's an odd threat. Yeah. That's not a very threatening threat.
She's seen Casino. That's all it is.
I think she saw one movie.
She knows nothing about how this works.
I haven't heard a Goodfellas reference either. It's all.
It's coming.
It's all Casino here.
Yeah.
I think it's just Casino. I think she saw one movie and was like, it really stuck with her.
Yeah.
On another occasion, when Fat Sam was driving, the young girl here, the young girl's friend, and Crystal, all of them to dinner. So Crystal, her daughter's friend. They were all driving to dinner, and I guess Crystal and Sam began to argue about money and drugs. And he threatened to drive his car off the road and kill everybody.
Okay.
So that's interesting. They also said that, according to this daughter, Sam had boasted to her on more than one occasion about having kidnapped and murdered someone and buried the vehicle used in the crime.
Right.
That's what you tell children. I'm a murderer. It'll make them comfortable while they sleep. Now sleep tight. The fuck is that about?
If you don't, I'll get you.
Holy shit. Yeah, you better go to sleep right now. Jesus. Oh, my God. She said that the pen threat occurred when she was in the 7th grade, and the threat to drive the vehicle off the road occurred when she was in the 8th grade. Okay. She also said, though, that Fat Sam regularly gave Crystal gifts and also gave her children gifts and paid for the outings they went on for all the kids to do shit and all that. She said that Sam never physically struck or harmed, in front of her or to her knowledge, Crystal or any of the children. Okay. He just threatened to kill her with a pen and drive a car off the road. Yeah. Another friend, Shane Hughes. Let's find out about Shane Hughes, our guy. Would-be murderer, according to her.
The most Irish man in town.
The most Irish man in town. He said that once he helped Fat Sam assemble a bed using the hammer.
Oh.
The hammer that was there. Yeah. He said, though, he didn't recognize... He said it was a hammer. He doesn't know if it was that hammer.
Oh, okay.
There. He said that on at least 2 occasions, he had helped Fat Sam out with his pill count by providing him with some of his own oxycodone to make up for a shortfall. Hey, I got orders that I can't fill here. So he said on at least 4 or 5 occasions, he wired money via Western Union on Fat Sam's behalf to a woman in another state.
Oh.
Whom he later learned was the Tierney guy who they brought up, the other guy that she accused. It was his girlfriend. So he said, to his knowledge, Hughes said, that Fat Sam and Crystal were just friends, although he thinks Fat Sam would have liked a more intimate relationship than that.
Sure, of course he would.
That would make more, obviously. So Hughes also said that Fat Sam frequently became angry with Crystal, and about 6 months before he died, he heard Fat Sam make the comment, quote, "If I get that bitch in the right place one of these days, I might just have to kill her." And he also said that he at one point said that he had to keep Crystal on a short leash, drug dealing wise, not relationship wise.
Or if she gets in the right situation, I might have to kill her. That might be what he means. Like if she fucks up, I might have to make this girl disappear.
Let's say she gets arrested with a bunch of shit. Yeah. So Hughes also said he was adamant that that Fat Sam never asked him to kill anyone, and said that if Fat Sam called him on the night of May 18th, it was about a different matter, not killing someone. It was about whatever the fuck. He said that, yes, Sam was a blowhard, is what he called him, and said that he didn't believe that Crystal was in danger when Sam made the comment about having to kill her one day. He said that he learned after Fat Sam's death that Fat Sam had been dealing prescription pills, quote, to a pretty good level. He didn't know he was that into it, I guess. So February of 2016, this is a year after all that, or that's later on this month, I'm sorry, they announced that Crystal has been charged with 1 count of first-degree murder, 1 count of aggravated assault, 1 count of tampering with evidence, and 1 count of theft.
Oh.
She took a knife out of the house. That's theft. So,
okay, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So the trial comes up, 2017 this is. So.
Is that theft good enough to up it to a capital murder? Just a knife?
That's 1 count of murder in the first degree. I mean, that's, I guess so. And the tampering, I don't know. Tennessee, too. We'll talk about it. There's legal stuff in here. So 2017, the trial, there's photos and evidence. They said 4 autopsy photos. There's a shitload more, but the court is going to allow a certain amount of photos in that aren't egregious. Yeah. 4 autopsy photos consist of 2 views of the cleaned up victim's head showing the wounds to his eyes and top of his head, a view of the victim's cleaned torso. So these are autopsy table photos. Yikes. These aren't crime scene photos. And head showing the bruises and wounds to his arm and the top of his hand.
Okay, very medical.
Wounds.
Yeah, they're very medical pictures. It's not. It's not a sloppy fucking murder scene.
Well, you have to prove to the jury how the person was killed. You can't just say their head was bashed, and you have to go, you see the pictures? Because if that's the way it works, otherwise the jury doesn't know. Yeah. The only things they know are things that are put in evidence and showed to them.
An autopsy photo is about as clinical and medical as you're going to get in a murder scene.
It's cold. Yeah.
You don't want. It's very, very sterile. I mean, granted, it's a dead body you're looking at, but at least it's not a fucking dead body exploded on a bed.
Hey, they could throw an Instagram filter or 2 on it. Don't get me wrong.
Do it in sepia if you don't mind.
Yeah,
Get rid of this gray tone on the skin.
We could do a little of that. But other than that, it's really not.
Maybe a Clarendon. Come on, help me out.
I love it. So that's how this goes here. Wounds to his arms, top of his hands, and a very clinical appearing view with the scalp apparently pulled back but not visible of the indentation or caved in portion of the top of his skull. They said, although not pleasant, none of them are unduly gruesome. They're just ones you have to put in there. And then there's a few other ones from the crime scene, but these are the nasty ones. So Wesson, that Agent Wesson, who has been, tracked her down in jail and didn't believe her bullshit, he testifies during this. He says that he did not uncover any evidence that Crystal had previously threatened, because they cross-examine him. He presents all the evidence we just told you. And on cross-examination, he said, no, I did not uncover any evidence that Crystal had previously threatened him or that anything unusual had occurred in their relationship prior to the night of the killing. Said you didn't find any threats or any I'm not talking to you anymore or any of that shit. He said no. He further acknowledged that Fat Sam had a reputation in the community for violence. That is true. So he said he was aware that he'd been sentenced to the federal penitentiary in 1982 for 2 counts of kidnapping and was on parole for those crimes at the time of his death. Right. So the investigator Goats here, who's the guy who's not an expert on blood spatter.
Just an expert on goats.
Just a guy who loves goats. He said that he acknowledged that he learned that Fat Tony had spent time in prison for aggravated kidnapping and was on parole at the time of his murder, after the murder, obviously. He also learned that Crystal had been trained as a law enforcement officer.
Oh.
He conceded that his own law enforcement training would lead him to shoot at the center mass to eliminate the threat of an individual who was advancing on him with a knife. Because they were like, if you had police training and someone was coming at you with a knife, what would you do?
Right.
And he goes, center mass, blah, blah, blah. She didn't have a gun, number one.
Right. But she focused fucking straight head, all head shots.
And if you buck off a bunch of shots in a fucking retirement community, someone's going to call the cops. Guaranteed. Yeah. So they said to eliminate the threat, he said that he, on redirect examination, testified that he could not envision any scenario in which his training would instruct him to attack someone from behind.
Yeah.
So another detective, investigator Michael Reeves of the Lawrenceburg Police Department, is a graduate of 80 hours of blood spatter training. Hey,
there you go. That's
you know what that is? That's a what's that called? That's an expert. Including an advanced blood spatter class, used crime scene photographs as he described in detail the blood spatter evidence at the scene, which included the lack of blood behind him where the person would have been standing. And the sling would have gone back there and all that. On cross-examination, Reeves acknowledged that he had never been declared an expert witness in the area of blood spatter evidence. He further acknowledged that he had no proof that the victim's pill bottles were taken from his apartment on the night of the killing.
Right.
Because they said, do you know when those were taken? She could have had those for months. And he said, yeah, sure, you're right. But why would she bury them with murder weapons then? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Why are they paired with the exact thing that we're looking for?
Anything you put in a bag with murder weapons is now part of it. That's just all there is to it.
That's not part of the evidence of why this happened.
There's blood on it. So, another detective, Captain Brent Hunter. Jesus, he sounds like a cop. Captain Brent Hunter here.
Jesus. He drinks black coffee.
Oh, no sugar, no milk. What am I, the hell kind of a pussy do you think I am? I'm like, Jesus, sorry.
How do I take it? It only comes one way.
Just coffee. Yeah. Matter of fact, put some grounds in there, too. I like to chew it a little.
Leave a few for that last sip.
Straight black, and give me about a teaspoon. Instead of sugar, put fucking grounds in there, too.
I'll put that in my lip.
There we go. Yeah, that's better. And he just, like Copenhagen, but smells better. So this guy is of the Lawrenceburg Police Department's Criminal Investigation Division. He has extensive training in blood spatter evidence and testified at length with respect to the blood spatter evidence, including what led him to conclude that an attempt had been made to clean the space. Yeah. Said based on the appearance of the wiped-through blood stains, you know, when you got blood stains and one has a big wipe through it when you turn luminol on.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, he estimated that some of the blood had been on the floor for a minimum of 20 minutes before it was disturbed.
Oh.
Which is a very specific thing to say here. On cross-examination, he did acknowledge that Crystal had not done a very good job of cleaning the scene because she was trying to go fast. Yeah. But he declined to give an opinion on whether that fact indicated that she was in a frightened or panicked state or anything like that, because they're trying to say maybe she was so frightened and panicked from being attacked. That's what happened. He did acknowledge that Crystal would have to have passed within an arm's length of Fat Sam in order to exit his bedroom. Mm-hmm. They bring in an autopsy doctor here.
Oh, boy.
And the autopsy doctor, she agreed it was possible that Fat Sam was holding a weapon in his hand at the time his jugular was cut. Oh. She acknowledged that although she labeled the manner of death as homicide, she's not into evidence. She's into what the body tells her in a fucking lab. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was unable to determine if the killing occurred in self-defense. How the hell would I know? Not my job. On redirect examination, she testified that the blunt force trauma that the victim sustained was so severe that she was almost certain that he would have been rendered unconscious. So you didn't need 20 blows, and you certainly didn't need to cut his throat, is what she's saying.
8 or 9 with a claw hammer. I'm shocked the man was still alive, but I guarantee you he was not alert.
He wasn't taking swings at her or anything, probably. Calling wise guys on the phone.
Yeah, not calling her a bitch or a dog or telling her that her bitch ass is in trouble.
Bitch, whore, dog ass, none of that stuff. So Crystal must testify.
Yeah.
If you claim self-defense, you got to get up there and make that jury believe your ass, boy. Mm-hmm. So she testified that he was standing over her, Fat Sam was, with a knife. And at this time, that's what she's testifying. She said that she started looking around for something to throw at him and spotted a hammer underneath the bed. When he turned to sit on the bed in order to call his wise guys, that's when she saw her opportunity, grabbed the hammer, and flew across the bed and started hitting him.
Okay.
Which is different than she said. Yeah. Now it's not just I grabbed it and started wildly swinging it. Now it's different. She stated that she remembered hitting him only 2 or 3 times, but realized from the evidence that she must have hit him many more times. But
she's
so
an assassin.
Crazed. She said that her hammer flew out of her hands at one point. His knife slipped, and she grabbed it and stabbed him because he was still fighting.
Oh.
Which evidence does not bear that out at all.
No, he's got the knife still.
And she had no weapon because, her hammer flew out of her hand.
Yeah.
Afterwards, she went to her vehicle, retrieved a bag and a pair of latex gloves that Jonathan Howell had left in the vehicle because he used them in his line of work. Don't know what that is. He's a proctologist. He returned to the apartment. I
see a build-up proctologist rooting around in
snapping that glove on. Let's take a look in there. All right.
He just forgets what he's doing halfway through. And like, you see anything back there?
Got any
pills
my
God,
there?
I'm in your asshole.
You got any pills in here, buddy? Been looking around for a while.
Nope, you're all clean. What do you mean?
Shit.
You didn't see any polyps? Oh, I was looking for pills.
I was just looking for oxycodone. Shit. Junkie proctologist. I love it. That's hilarious. I was the one who got us on a proctology kick. So she said she returned to the apartment, cleaned up, threw his phone in the toilet, planted a different type of knife in his hands, gathered the evidence, and went home. Next day, she's saying this in court on the stand.
Wow.
Yeah. Next day, she buried the evidence in the pit. She explained her actions in concealing the evidence by saying she was panicked and frightened of going to jail for her role in the drug business, not for the murder. If you got into that and I have self-defense, then you're going to find out all my drug activities. I'll be busted for that. She was also still frightened for the lives of herself and her children because, to this day, she's still scared because of, quote, the wise guys. Fuck.
This is the story her lawyer went over with her and said, present this?
This is the best we got based on your dumb statements that you made.
Wow.
Your statement has to fit into the fact that you said you buried the stuff. You said you cleaned up the crime scene. You made every mistake possible in an interrogation.
And you did all this by yourself. This is not good.
All by my lonesome. Yep, no one else to blame. On cross-examination, she claimed that the portion of her written statement about having stabbed him to be sure he was dead, which was not in her handwriting, was fabricated by Agent Whisman, even though her initials and signature were all around it. She said the portion about the victim falling back onto the bed after she hit him with the hammer was not accurate, and that what really occurred was that he started swinging at her with his knife, cutting her hand. Oh. She acknowledged that she signed the statement, but said she didn't read it before signing it.
Oh. Is that right?
So you're in a murder interrogation. You just say A, B, and C and assume they wrote it down accurately and don't even check it over and write it. Never mind a lawyer. I don't even need to read my confession that you wrote.
Look, I buy a car and they give me a piece of documentation and they're like, sign here. I'm reading that. And that has nothing to do with my freedom or my
fucking for the rest of my life. Yeah.
Right. This is for 5 years. I'm going to read
blamed for a murder. Yeah, I'm going to pay fucking $282 instead of $267 instead because I didn't read the fine print. She's going to go to jail forever. Yeah. So I meant per month, by the way, not a fucking Ferrari. Yeah. So, court rulings here. Following her testimony, the court ruled that Agent Knudsen could testify about Fat Sam's convictions, the length of his sentence, and his parole status, but could not get into the underlying facts of the crime. So he could get up and say, yes, he was dangerous. They put him in jail. He did 30 years, but not say that he killed anybody. Right. But someone does 30 years, you assume they did something terrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the verdict in this case here, interesting. She ends up entering, by the way, before this all started, she entered a guilty plea on the count of aggravated assault. She said, that was true. You got me.
Okay.
You got me. But it was self-defense on the other stuff, on the murder. The original, okay. So during these deliberations, the jurors find her not guilty of one count of theft, not guilty on one count of felony murder, and guilty on one count of first-degree murder.
Wow.
Imagine if you're her and you get fucking not guilty. You're like, I'm getting away with it. Fucking here's the worst one. Fuck you.
The real hard one sucks.
No shit, man. So she also has found guilty of tampering as well, which is a 3-year sentence that's going to be added on to her other sentence. And speaking of sentencing,
oh boy,
you, ma'am, may fuck off an automatic life in prison.
Oh.
Automatic sentence on first-degree murder.
Doesn't matter at all.
Plus 3 years for tampering.
Yeah.
So she is in deep shit. Let's just say that.
It's over for her. Yeah.
It is. She is fucked. Now, on appeal, she does appeal, and this is very recent, a couple of years ago. She argues that the Agent Knudsen, his testimony about Fat Sam's violent act should have been admitted to corroborate exactly what happened. Say he's a murderer. Yeah. Should have been admitted to corroborate her claim that he was the first aggressor. Right. 30 years in prison, you assume it, I think. You get that out of that, probably.
Yeah.
It's probably not a lot of things that are nonviolent you do 30 years for.
30 fucking years for, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, trafficking people do that kind of time, so... But still, if you're a trafficker, there's some violence usually involved in that. You know what I mean?
But he wasn't.
You're
fencing.
not like on the street trying to sell for your family or anything.
Feels like he learned his lesson with that and wasn't fencing stolen goods anymore, right? He was just.
I don't think so.
You know what I mean?
Just mass amounts of drugs,
right?
Yeah,
just doing much worse.
Just much worse that carries a much longer sentence.
But at least it got him out of the situation where he felt like he needed to go hurt people. Now he got himself into the drug trade where it's much safer. A lot less people get hurt.
Clearly. Obviously. You do that when you're ready to retire, really. You settle down, get in the drug business. That's what you do. It's like being a Walmart greeter. It's just in your golden years. She argues that the agent, Knudsen's testimony about his threats to the agent and the agent's belief that he had associates capable of carrying out that threat would have corroborated her testimony about the wise guys.
Yeah.
So there you go. And that's her claim. The state responded by saying that Agent Knudsen's testimony about having heard that Fat Sam had put out an open contract on his life was inadmissible hearsay because they didn't even know if it was true. They heard it from some guy from prison. They didn't. How the fuck you can't admit that in a court? That not even from that guy. It's hearsay of a thing that you heard 30 years ago, literally 30 fucking 5 years ago. It's kind of rough there. So the state responds that Agent Knudsen's testimony about having heard that is inadmissible, and they said, the court says, we agree with the state that Agent Knudsen heard about the victims advertising for someone to kill the agent constituted inadmissible hearsay. Hearsay, obviously, hearsay is a statement other than one made by the declarant while testifying at trial. So there you go. That's pretty easy. As for whether the trial court properly excluded the proffered testimony about prior violent acts, we note that both parties analyzed the issue pursuant to Tennessee Rule of Evidence 405.
Yeah, that's a specific one.
Under the methods of proving character, which provides that after evidence has been presented of a person's character trait by reputation or opinion testimony, inquiry may be allowed on cross-examination into relevant and specific instances of conduct if certain conditions are met. Okay, so conclusion is the evidence of the prior bad acts involving the kidnapping convictions was arguably relevant to support Crystal's claim that he was the aggressor and that she acted in self-defense. Whether the probative value of the evidence was substantially outweighed by the danger of unfair prejudice, however, is a much closer question. This is what appeals are.
Whether or not the jury would have found it enough.
Yeah, this is, by the way, this will be another couple minutes, and then I have something that's going to make your fucking head explode after this. So hang on for a minute here through the legal stuff. Okay. On one hand, the prior bad acts involved kidnappings and a murder that was allegedly committed in retaliation for the victims having been wronged in a criminal enterprise, which would tend to bolster Crystal's claim that the victim attacked her because he believed she was cutting him out of the drug transactions. On the other hand, the victim's crimes were committed not just years, but decades earlier. And in a much different physical condition. Right, that's coming from me, not the document. Given the great length of time since the events, we can find no abuse of discretion in the court's exclusion of the evidence on the basis that the probative value was substantially outweighed by the danger of unfair prejudice. Which, I mean, if it was fucking 3 years ago, it's a different story.
Yeah.
But if he's a different guy than he was physically, he can't even move anymore.
Right.
So
well, and even 3 years ago, he was still not even in great shape to do. But
no.
To attack somebody with a knife he kidnapped a dude and his wife with friends, mind you, too. He needed needed help to manage that. Yeah.
3 fucking people did this. Yeah. And he was on the murder car.
Right.
He was in the murder car where they took the people. So they said, even if we agreed with the defendant that the testimony about the specific bad acts of the victim should have been admitted, we would have no hesitation in concluding that the proof against the defendant was so overwhelming that any error in excluding the testimony was harmless beyond a reasonable doubt. So even if we agreed with you, it still wouldn't be enough. They said the proof of this in this case was that the victim at the time of his death was a morbidly obese elderly man.
Right.
Experiencing heart problems who had just been released from a nursing facility and had to use a rolling walker or cane to ambulate.
Yeah.
You can walk away from him very slowly, probably, and get away. The proof also showed that the victim was struck from behind in the back of his head and that the knife found in his hand was planted there by the defendant after his death. All those look terrible.
Yeah, it does.
Moreover, multiple witnesses, including the retired FBI agent, were allowed to testify the victim had been convicted of aggravated kidnapping, which involved a murder, and that he was on parole at the time of his death. Therefore, we conclude that the trial court properly excluded the agent's proposed testimony. Okay, crime scene photos. She said they admitted 8 unfairly prejudicial crime scene and autopsy photos.
Yeah, those 8 were probably pretty ugly.
Yeah, that's why I was detailing them for this reason. She argues that the medical examiner's testimony and autopsy report were more than adequate to describe the extent of the victims. Let's not get crazy here.
We don't need to see it.
We don't need to see it.
Words
Jesus.
are enough.
Oh, man. She also argues that the testimonial evidence provided by the officers who responded to the crime scene was also sufficient to describe for the jury the location of the spatter, the body, and the apartment layout without the admission of these gruesome, tasteless crime scene photos. In a pretrial hearing, the court carefully reviewed a large number of crime scene and autopsy photographs before ruling each one's admissibility or not. Sure. That's what they did. They said we find no abuse of discretion in the trial court's admission of the photographs. One of the four of the photographs of the crime scene show the victim's body lying across the bed with blood spatter on the bed and on a wall beside him. A closer view of the torso showing the cuts to the neck and the blood around the shoulder and neck area. Another view of the body showing the lack of blood spatter in the area around the chest of drawers, which is what they're trying to prove. Right. So you need that. And a view of a large pool of blood that formed beneath his body, meaning he wasn't trying to get up and go after her. He was laying there bleeding out. And finally, she says that there's just a lack of evidence to sustain her conviction.
Yeah?
Yeah? Me telling you all the details isn't enough? She's saying, I don't think that's enough evidence.
Okay.
Wow. She said that proof failed to establish that she acted with premeditation when she killed him. In support, she cites, among other things, his imposing size, his violent history, and reputation in the community for violence, and the state's failure to show a motive for the crime, which you don't have to.
Look, you didn't show me any videos or pictures of me stabbing and brutalizing this man. Therefore, I didn't do it.
I didn't do it. And the prosecution has to prove the who, where, and why.
That's it. Yeah.
Or who, where, and how, not why. Why isn't part of it. Why doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
It doesn't. So anyway, they said that they are going to side with the state here on that one. She first argues that the evidence supporting her claim that she acted in self-defense when she killed the victim. In support, she relies primarily on her own testimony about his actions and threats, along with his violent criminal history and his quote-unquote gangster associates that may or may not be real. They said that the self-defense statute provides that the use of force, including deadly force, may be justified when a person has a reasonable belief that there's imminent danger of death or serious bodily harm. But they don't believe her, and she can go fuck herself. So they conclude the evidence was sufficient and all that kind of shit, and she can keep getting fucked and keep on fucking and trucking over here. So she's currently incarcerated at the Deborah K. Johnson Rehabilitation Center, which is a women's prison there. Now, here we go.
Oh, boy.
This is from a Facebook page.
What?
Citizens of Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, April 27th. By the way, there's Amish people here, and it's a picture as Amish people on it.
Is that right?
There is Amish here. And it says, Crystal Grigore found guilty of first-degree murder. After hearing the testimony throughout the week, jurors returned a guilty verdict against 37-year-old Crystal in the death of Sam John Passarella. Passarella's badly beaten body was found inside his Crockett Senior housing apartment on Old Florence Road on May 19, 2015. So, the comments on this.
No fucking way.
There are 3 comments.
Uh-huh.
One is a Ricky Rodriguez says, that poor men barely can't walk. Evidence was there.
Okay.
So they're apparently in agreement with this.
They're on that
but
Sam's
don't
side.
Speak very good English. That's
right.
They don't speak English well.
Poor men.
But they agree with the verdict. Okay.
He is a lot of mans, so yeah, he's that poor man.
Next up, I don't even know if I should give this person's name.
No,
I don't think I'm going to because it's, I mean, I can legally. It's just idiot put it on social media, so it's perfectly fucking public. But at the same time, it'd be very easy to look this person up and call him an asshole, so I'm not going to say it. This person, I'll give the first name, Shannon here, said, or Holly, Shannon, or one of these people. I don't know, never mind. Who knows? Quote, she didn't do it.
Holy Shannon.
She's innocent.
Wow.
That's not the name, by the way, luckily. The justice system has failed their own people. She was an excellent officer for, a month?
What?
Y'all need to open the case back up. Free the innocent. For real? Y'all need to open the case back up. Free the innocent.
Okay.
For real, y'all?
She said that?
Wow.
With a question mark, she said that?
No. This is periods.
Okay.
These are statements, babe. Right. This is then replied to by somebody else who says, quote, thank you for saying that.
Oh,
so many people believe what they read.
I just laughed like 7 different ways.
Yeah, 7 different ways, because that's 7 different kinds of dumb. Both those statements are 7 different kinds of...
Also 7 different kinds of fuck you, lady.
Yeah. You know what? I read her confession. That's what I read.
Yeah.
I read her court documents, her confession, evidentiary findings, things like that.
And then a jury verdict.
And then jury verdicts. And also
so many
her
people
saying...
all 12 people believe what they read.
And I read her 4 fucking different stories that you wouldn't have if you didn't do anything, and all this shit. I'm just, wow.
Thank you for saying it.
Thank you for saying that! Exclamation point, by the way. Thank you, and uses the person's name. So many people believe what they read. If all these people just stop with their reading, all these words, mocking you.
Bullshit.
Just go on what you hear. Just if someone says, hey, y'all, did you hear this and that? You go by that. That's all.
No, I'm going by what I saw, sir. And I saw nothing.
I didn't see
nothing happened.
I wasn't there. Who's to say anybody was? You know what I mean? I didn't see it. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
For every murderer out there, no matter how...
so much shit for this.
We are? The fuck are we going to get shit for? The illiterate are going to fucking be mad at us?
Moron is going to be mad that we talked about this.
I'll give you a go fuck your mother first. Back.
A preemptive fuck
preemptive
you.
Go fuck your mother. Not fuck you, fuck your mother. So if you come to us, you're getting a go fuck your mother again, and then fuck her in the mouth, and then pick another fucking hole and fuck her there, because I don't care anymore. I'm not taking anybody's dumb shit. If you're too stupid to understand anything, don't listen to the fucking show. Stop.
It was appealed, all right? And it's over for you.
Yeah.
So shut it.
It's over.
Your argument's dumb.
Fucking idiots. So there we go. That, everybody, is Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, and a hell of a wild story. That's a crazy story.
It's
with
a
some
real
weird
place
people.
with the craziest story I've ever heard.
It's fucking insane.
What's even crazier, James, it happened less than 10 years ago.
Less than 10 years ago.
8 years ago, this was unfolding.
We were planning crime and sports while this was going on. We had already started this podcast by the time the trial was over.
My daughter was almost in school. Like this is crazy.
Wild. Yeah. It's so soon and so
She
recent.
She was in kindergarten. This is ridiculous.
Let me ask you this. When we were, say, 10 minutes into the murder story, did you think that he wasn't going to be the murderer? Or never thought he's going to be the murder victim?
I thought he was not going to learn his lesson.
No. Enter Crystal. You go, oh, no, poor Crystal. I hope she's pregnant. Otherwise, he's going to kill her.
Poor Crystal and her Misty.
And her Misty. Christy and Misty. So there you go, everybody. If you enjoyed that, tell the world about it. Get on whatever app you're on and counteract the dumb people by giving us 5 stars and saying something nice about the show. It really does help out a lot. You also certainly want to follow us on social media at Small Town Murder on Instagram, at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Pod on Facebook. You definitely, certainly want to head over to shutupandgivememurder.com.
Yeah.
Right now and get all of the, first of all, merch and stuff like that, but you're going to get tickets to live shows December 2nd. Dallas, we have a live show there. It's the only one left with tickets besides the virtual live show. October the 26th. It's a Thursday night, and we're going to have the show will be available for a week after that, all through Thanksgiving, all through Halloween. You can watch it as many times as you want. Save it up for Halloween. Do whatever you want. It's our spectacular. We're going to dress up in costumes. We're going to have a wild story, and it'll be just like a live show, except you're in your fucking pajama bottoms drinking free booze. So drinking home booze. So and you have your own toilet, which is always helpful.
Oh, yeah. No line.
That's wonderful. No line for the toilet. So get in there. Get those tickets at shutupandgivememurder.com/virtual live is where you get those tickets. And get them right now. We can't wait. We're very jacked for that. You certainly definitely want Patreon. You want more stuff, bonus stuff? We got it all. Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all of your bonus materials.
Right.
The whole back catalog. Anybody $5 a month or above. What does $5 get you? That doesn't even get you
nothing.
I think that's a Big Mac now. You know what I mean?
It's the actual sandwich, though.
Just this, no fries or drink. Just the big. So you can get a Big Mac once, or over 200 back episodes of bonus stuff to binge on and new stuff every other week, including this week, which we have for Crime and Sports, which you'll have access to and you'll want to listen to because these are wild. We're going to talk about Pros versus Joes. which was a television show where they put regular people who, for some reason, were delusional enough to think they could compete athletically with recently retired professional athletes and put that on television. And it's the craziest shit ever.
Yeah.
Plenty of people got hurt. It was awesome. So we'll check all that out. Then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about a very interesting case that hasn't gone to trial yet, but there has an interrogation out there, and the facts of the case are kind of cut and dry, it seems like. But the Sarah Boone, who's the alleged suitcase killer, she hasn't gone yet, it's all alleged, who zipped her boyfriend up in the suitcase, according to her own words, and then the police did the worst interrogation I've ever seen any police force do at any time. It seems like they were hitting the head with fucking claw hammers before they went in there. And
is it because
responses are just as dumb?
Daniel's great-great-great-granddaughter?
I think it is, yeah. Still mad at the Crockett's.
David Crockett.
So check all that out. That's patreon.com/crimeinsports. And you'll get a shout out in just a second. But before the shout out, we also just want to say, listen to your stupid opinions.
Oh, it's so much fun.
It's our new show, and fuck do we love it. We really think it's awesome, and we've had great feedback, so we think you're going to love it too. We talk about dumb reviews of everything imaginable, everything, everybody, every activity imaginable, products from all over the internet, and it's really, really wild stuff. Check that out wherever you listen to podcasts, and also listen to Crime and Sports while you're at it. And that said, Jimmie! Hit me with the name of the people who would never, ever, ever light a candle planning on praying on our ultimate demise. Hit me with those names right fucking now.
This week's executive producers are Kyle Norweg, Diane Helmendaler, Helen McKenzie, Thomas Bollinger, and Laura Forgy. Thank you all so much for being a part of this.
Thank you.
You're
awesome
heroes.
People.
Other producers this week are Steve Dipshitiot. He's a wrestling fan extraordinaire. That's
all right. This is an episode for you.
Haas Funk, the best funk. Peyton Meadows, Hank's Donut World. I don't know what that is a reference to. Do you
Hank's
know?
Donut World is Overboard. That is where in kayfabe, we'll stick with the wrestling from Crime and Sports list this week, but that is where he told Goldie Hawn they met.
Oh, okay.
Remember Hank's Donut World? He used to hang out there every night when you were in the Navy.
I was in the Navy?
I was in the armed forces.
You got to remember, you were in the Navy.
You were in the Navy.
Oh, okay. Tiffany Gonzalez, happy birthday, Tiff. It's good to see your name. I love you so much.
To you.
Janice Hill, Trey Volcanar, Harry Dangleberry, Biscuit Lacoste maybe, Pam Allen, Alex Esquivel, Sky Zambrana, Casey Baulos, Adam Paulchow, Harry Chazen, Ray Brower maybe, Needy Sharma, Bryson Morris, Gina Marie, Cody Alcoin, Jerkface Gremlin, Green Mary Akers. I don't know if that's real. If that's a place, it might be a cemetery. We don't know.
Oh, maybe.
Dana Berry, Annie with no last name, Jacob LDG, Krista Meyer, Cody Stumpages, Isa Aliyamama. All right.
What the hell?
Aliyamama. She said it. Issa
oh my God!
ML, the letters M and L. Zoe Keller, Danielle Delp, I think. Amy Benz, Queefy Sharts. That's disgusting. Sabrina Rennie, Paige Hollander, Felicia Greider, MM. The letters, both letters brought you this show. Gina Ann, Alfie.
Regular Sesame Street today.
Alfie Simchich. Kristen Baggett, Bagot, Ro Jogan, Penny Tration, oh, you son of a bitch, Stephanie Wood, Sam Stankiewicz, Cameron Carpenter, The Forest Goat, Jacob Vest, Melanie Brown, Clay Moore, Fat Little Gringo. All right, now we're having fun with it. Marky Burcham, Allison Bridges, Shannon Flaherty, Jamie Erkham Brock, David Palmer, Sean Howard, Bridget West, Katie Tritch, Brandon Withrow, Kate Sander, Christopher Cooper, Steve with no last name, Bonnie Whitener, Ginta, probably Ginta, Sam Finn, Sammy Finn, Angel and Nick Bedrosian. All right. Kristen Stone, Mike Dainzer, Jane Melkinoff. I don't know. All right. Aaron Anderson.
Sounds dirty, but I'm not sure.
I'm going to go with probably the name. Cody Brannon, Gina Wolf Kuehler.
Cool name.
Wolf Cool. That's what it is, I think.
Okay.
God damn it. David Benson, Darcy Ellis, Sarah Goins. Hey, Sarah. David Boyle, Arsenic Catnip. Oh, boy. Adrian R. Jonathan, don't ever fucking do it. I'm not an advocate for hurting animals. All right. Jonathan.
No, don't do that.
No last name. Nathan.
Sounds bad.
It's terrible. Ferreira. Rachel Combs.
Is there anybody out
Christian.
there going, hurt animals? Fuck them.
Don't you do it.
Hope
not. You'll go to jail. Star Rame, Lemon Tree. Christy Black, Kelsey with a K, Meredith Zolte, Max Demau, Keener with no last name, Grace, Annabelle Oatway, Sean Gelzanes, Elena Johnson, Zeke Duty. All right, Tara Ketstever, Lakota Kirst, maybe, Cece Kuhl, Cool, Suzanne Sutton, Olivia Crutcher. All right, Teeny Christini, Rebecca Connors, Tyler Schwebel, Zarin Walk, Nicholas Wright, Dylan Ryan, Karen Schumacher, Laura Sue, William Fitch, Anna Marie Ars Navarro Perez.
Is that one name?
I really wandered through that one.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell does
handle.
happen?
That's a handle, Anna Marie. Brittany Bauman, Mandy with no last name, Doug Brown, Patrick Pickett, Ryan Mainers, Janet Neat, Dina Craiglow, Carla Mead, Devin Shue, Cass with no last name, Honey Hudson, Caitlin, Kaylin with no last name, Lisa Young, Amanda Raulakaitis, Shit, that's not easy. Whitney with no last name, Ruth Bohm, Hunter, Anthony Smith, Mike Kellogg, got that Kellogg's money, Young David, Car Sinner. All right, Becca Mouse. Yeah, he does. He's a real sinner. Oh, boy. Don't get in the car with that man. Kim Burton, Corey Allen, Melissa with no last name, Derpy D, Devin Roquette, Susan Joy, Aaron Williams, Michelle Ross, Kelly Kissick, Kat Cummings, Chris Harris, Michael Van Tassel, Katie Kerwood, Jason Edward Hensley, Elisa Ashley Dandridge, Christian McCann, Trisha Brugman, Angela Thomas, Gemini Heather, Jason Fish, Adriana Tinginero, Tina Yero, Alana Maxwell. I got real Spanish on you. Amy Broussard, Michael Horton, Ashley Stark, Liz Hoover, Antonio Madrigal, Jill Hood, Big Sexy 74, because there's 73 others. I don't want you to get mixed up. Mark Proctor, Justine with no last name, Grisp with no last name, Brett Sawyer, Bubba Snotterly, Marie Blanche Gillette, Austin Davis, Tim Morgan, John Williams, Judy Bittner, Mikey T, Jordan with no last name, and every one of our goddamn producers. You're fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, so much.
It's unbelievable.
From the bottom of our hearts. We appreciate the hell out of all of you. We really do. Thank you for what you do for us, honestly. If you want to get a hold of us, very easy to do. Yeah. Just go to shutupandgivememurder.com. There's links to follow everybody everywhere. Do that. Keep coming back, you turkey gobbling sons of bitches. We love the shit out of you. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
It takes one guy out there to say, who's that Kyle who thinks he can just get on a microphone on a podcast and start publicizing this?
From iHeart Podcasts and Tenderfoot TV comes a new true crime podcast, Crook County.
I got recruited into the mob when I was 17 years old.
Meet Kenny, an enforcer for the legendary Chicago outfit.
And that was my mission, to snuff the life out of this guy.
He lived a secret double life as a firefighter-paramedic for the Chicago Fire Department.
I had a wife and I had 2 children. Nobody knew anything.
People are dying. Is he doing this every night?
Torn between 2 worlds.
I'm covering up murders that these cops are doing.
He was a freaking crazy man.
We don't know who he is, really.
He is my father. And I had no idea about any of this until now. Welcome to Crook County. Available now. Listen for free on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.